Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream today. It's back for another game. Saturday 5:30, the usual times for the streams and the commentaries for however long I'm in school for. Because again, you don't know what's going on with COVID and lockdowns. But the most important thing is we're here for this commentary. Big game for United. Well, get off to a good start. Not played a Premier League game yet. This is their first game, despite saying game week 2. So this is their first game of the season. Donnie Van Der Beek is on the bench, but will likely feature. Got so many players in that midfield instead. The likes of Daniel James is going to get a chance today, as Mason Greenwood is not in the starting 11 due to the antics that happened with his trip away in England at Iceland with Phil Foden. But I think just overall, United should have the squad to beat Crystal Palace. But last time, 13 months ago, Crystal Palace played here at Manchester United. They got a 90th minute winner to win 2-1. So, the odds could definitely be upset tonight or this evening. We'll just have to see. I'm hoping for goals, like I always say. Hoping for a good game. We did get that last week with Liverpool and Leeds, despite the stream kind of not surviving the whole part, and I had to do it into 2, and it was a bit of a mess. Other than that, it was a great live stream and a great game to commentate on. So I'm hoping for the same again. Not commentated on Crystal Palace before, so that'll be interesting to see how they do, if they can get a good start on a debut of the Football Commentary YouTube channel. But I'm just hoping for a good game, really. It's the best you can really hope for. Just give me a second. Sorry about that, I just need to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna need to... Hold on, I need to put it out on Instagram. Got to get the stream out there. So just cross a few names out. We are close to kick off. I will go through the lineups in around 3 minutes time. When it gets to about 25 past, I think I'll go through them. But let me just get the stream out there. Hold on. You've got to get this done. Try and get the people in. And there we go. Done. But if you're on the stream, let me know. Say hello. Give me predictions if you're here. Just gonna sort out a few things before we get into the game. Yeah, next week's commentary is going to be very interesting. It is Chelsea. They take on West Brom, who had an eventful game today, to say the least. Won't give any spoilers away. If you don't like the score, I know my dad watched the match of the day, so he doesn't like to know some of the scores. But yeah, it was eventful, to say the least. Venomix is here again. Of course, I would not expect any different. Oh, you're right, mate. If you want to give me a prediction, let me know. I'm interested to see what people think United can pull out of the bag today. Palace got off to a good start, didn't they, against Southampton? So I'm not too sure how they'll cope against Manchester United. They could struggle, or they could give them a really good game. We'll just have to see on that one. Sorry about this. I've just got to sort some things out, especially after last week's stream. Give me a sec. If this isn't done, then it'll just annoy me. 2-1 Man U, and I've seen a few of them, to be fair. I've seen a few Manchester United 2-1s. the plays where I get like predicted lineups will give me kind of a clue of what the lineups might be. They said 2-1 as well. Yeah. They said 2-1. That was interesting. Nearly done. Nearly done. Now I'll go through the lineups when I've done this. Just write this down and we can get going. Done. There we go. Right, that should have everything settled now. Lovely. So what we like to see. Is Van Der Beek playing? No, he's not. He is on the bench. He will more than likely feature, but he is currently on the bench and he will be on the bench for the game. I think he'll more than likely come on. For who? I'm not too sure because they've got quite a few attacking midfielders. It might be Pogba or someone like that. More than likely, but again, I'm not too sure. Alex Ferguson in the ground. Let's go through the teams very quickly. South United got David De Gea in goal. Played all Premier League games last season. Will that be the same this season with the arrival? Not a very arrival. He's been there for a long time, but the new first team arrival anyway, Dean Henderson. He made 36 appearances last year, conceded 33, as De Gea conceded 36, but obviously played 2 more games than Dean Henderson because he couldn't play against Manchester United, as that was his parent club. They've gone with Timothy Fosu-Mensah at right back, only made 3 appearances last season. He's in for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who is on the bench against his former club. And then they've got Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire as their back 2, with Luke Shaw having that left back spot ahead of Brandon Williams, who isn't in the squad today. Midfield 2, or 2 holding midfielders, Paul Pogba and Scott McTominay, with Bruno Fernandes obviously playing that attacking midfield role. Won the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year for Manchester United, despite only being there for half a season. That's how good he was, with Dan James and Rashford to the left and right, and Tony Marshall up front. Hopefully he has now implemented his spot into the Manchester United first team striker. And then the bench is, to make sure I get it right, it is Bailly, Mason Greenwood, who is on the bench but doesn't start, Fred Odinogalo, Dean Henderson, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and the man himself, Donnie Van Der Beek. And of course, they've got Gaeta in goal with Joel Ward, Cheku Kouyaté, Saku and Mitchell. At the back, Mitchell played 4 Premier League appearances last season, 0 goals, but did get a yellow card, but hopefully he's got back-to-back starts now in the Premier League. Could he be there for the foreseeable future, as Van Aanholt has been injured, did get injured in the reverse fixture away last season. Townsend gets a start on the right wing. James McCarthy are in the 2 central midfielder role, keeping out Luka Milivojevic. And then Eze, not on the left, waiting to get his first start, is Jeffrey Schlupp, who starts on the left as well, with a front 2 of Wilfried Zaha and Jordan Ayew. And a bench for them is Luka Milivojevic, Max Meyer, Wayne Hennessy, Michy Batshuayi, the new signing, Eberici, Eze, Martin Kelly, and Ryan Innes, who is also on the bench. So their 2 teams are going to get underway very, very soon. Wait, I thought Harry Maguire's in jail. No, he's out of jail. He's not in jail. No, not in jail. I'm not going to go into it. We know what happened. He's not in jail. If you've got any questions, Google it. They'll tell you. But Roy Hodgson looking to beat Manchester United. Just got to do this again. Sorry about this. We are very close to kick-off. Sorry about this. This is just my fault. We are about to kick off. I'm so sorry I've had to do this. And there we go. We are done. I'm gonna say Milmo XD. Hello. I don't know if you've been in before. I don't recognise you, but you're gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Very interesting that. I can definitely see a draw. I can definitely see a 1-1 draw. We know how Palace can be defensively solid when they want to be at the end of last season. They weren't too solid near the end of the season, but we are about to kick off. If you've got any questions, any chats, put them in. I will read them. Just because I'm commentating focusing on the game does not mean I won't read them. I will definitely be reading them. So make sure you get them in there. Crystal Palace 2 to kick off, kicking right to left. United left to right. It is going to be a kick off for Crystal Palace. They've took the knee for the Black Lives Matter movement. I love how they're still doing that in the Premier League still. The message still needs to be heard by many people. And we have kicked off with Crystal Palace. Laid back off to Chiarte, who's playing at centre-back for the start of this season, due to the injury problems Palace have. And Lindelof doesn't meet his header, but falls thankfully to Fosu Mensah. Plays back to David De Gea. He clears long, and we've got the game well underway. With Sacco on the ball. Plays over to Mitchell at left-back. Forward into the feet of Jeffrey Schlupp. Has to twist and turn away from the pressing Manchester United midfield. Gets it to Mitchell. Back inside to MacArthur. Gets past Pogba, nicely taken out from behind by Paul Pogba. Foul for Palace. And there is the timer on the way. Did you know that Thiago Alcantara and Diogo Jota, joined Liverpool? Well, Jota was actually just announced before the game started. So that's a very good sign, I think, for Liverpool. As Ayew shrugs off McTominay on the ball. Tries to get past Pogba as well. Brought down again. Another Crystal Palace play by Paul Pogba. And the free kick has been taken quickly to the right-hand side. Andros Townsend on the ball. He had Ward in support, didn't use him in the end. Turns, Cruyff, trying to get past McTominay, brought down by the Scotsman. And a foul's been given again in a dangerous area on this far right. Many free kicks being awarded by the referee so early on. All of them rightly given as well. Townsend with some nice skill from the 29-year-old. Got an assist against Southampton in the first game of the season. He'll be hoping to produce some more assists in this game if he can. Lead Palace to a win. He could get an assist here with a cross because he will be taking this free kick that he won. Formerly of Newcastle, Spurs, was once in the England squad many years ago. Can he lead Palace ahead within 2 minutes? One-man wall for Manchester United. If they get it into the right areas, this could be dangerous. Crosses it in towards the near post, headed away from Luke Shaw to the edge of the box to James McCarthy. Back towards Mitchell. Pass into Sacco. Nice triangle back to McCarthy. Back into Sacco, who's had to just make his way back from the free kick. Plays it over to the right. And Crystal Palace get back in positions with MacArthur into Mitchell, number 27. Drilled in towards Zaha. Can't get it under his spell. Brought away by Scott McTominay, and United have the ball again. Lindelof. Here he is, Fosu Mensah, in for Wan-Bissaka. Back towards Lindelof on the edge of the box. Finds Harry Maguire. Still remains captain of Manchester United despite the off-field antics that did happen while he was on his holiday in Greece. And pay attention to the game and maybe coming for a few goals and we'll come in at half-time, of course. That is fine. That is completely fine. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope it's a good game. Some goals. Obviously, it might take United a little bit more time to get into it as they did not play last weekend. They did play last weekend in a friendly where they got beat by Aston Villa, but I mean, in a competitive Premier League game, they haven't yet, while Palace have, when they did win 1-0 against Southampton. Townsend cross to Zaha was the difference in that game as Fernandes looks for Luke Shaw on the left. Fantastic ball from the Portuguese. And he lays it off to Rashford. Shaw, back to Shaw. Tries to go into Martial. Bundled to the ground, but it's a free kick the other way. As on the edge of the Crystal Palace box, they have a free kick. I think there may have been a little bit of pulling there by Martial. He tried to make the run forward, but he was the one who ended up on the deck in the end. But Martial did have a great season last year. You can't doubt how well he did play. 17 Premier League goals for him last year, same as Rashford. I think that was the difference, that they had two, constant scoring strikers or forwards last year, not just the one where they rely on in seasons before. The fact they had two players who were scoring in week in, week out, I think really helped Manchester United, especially at the end of the season when they needed the points to get into the Champions League places, which they did. Finished third. I think a successful year all round for Manchester United in the grand scheme of things. That's been cleared by Gaeta from that free kick. Brought down, it's MacArthur into Zaha. Now Mitchell drilled in towards Ayew. They said it came off the arm of McTominay, but referee disagrees, and United have the ball again with Luke Shaw on this left-hand side. Forced back towards Maguire, pressed by Ayew. Plays into McTominay, who's also pressed by, I think that was Zaha. Was able to get it out to De Gea. That was close, though, from Crystal Palace. Some good pressing so far. It's Lindelof into Pogba. Heavy touch, dispossessed. Here he is. Wilfried Zaha at his old club. Good recovery from Paul Pogba to win the ball back. Chipped, I think, by Fosu Mensah. Only finds Sakho. And he finds McCarthy. Probably back to the goalkeeper, Gaeta. And here is Cheku Kiarte on the ball. Did score against Manchester United when he first played them in England back in 2015 for West Ham. Will his height of 6'4" from maybe corners and free kicks come in handy today with a goal against Manchester United, as Zaha just brought to the ground in the Crystal Palace half as they tried to play it out. You can see that United are trying to be aggressive. Many fouls given away so far. They play under Solskjaer, had 13 appearances under him at Cardiff while he was there in 2013-14. His time wasn't as successful there at Cardiff, and neither was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Didn't have the greatest of times there at Cardiff. Played 30 matches, and that's all he lasted in Wales. That was back in 2014 there, January to the September of that year, as Crystal Palace out with Sakho into Joe Ward. Finds McCarthy. Now Townsend comes inside and dinks it over the top. Looking for Jeffrey Schlupp in the box. It's Fosu Mensah who guides it back to De Gea and drills it out straight to MacArthur, and he gets a pass in, but he was offside there. Wilfried Zaha, but the clearance has gone straight back to MacArthur. Into Joe Ward, down the line to Jordan Ayew. Zaha with a touch there, tackle by Luke Shaw out for a throw-in. Very, very poor pass though from De Gea. Seemed like Luke Shaw and Scott McTominay weren't really switched on there at all, and MacArthur could just pick it up. They've got the throw-in here, they've used it, and they've gone back towards Kiarte. Now to Sakho, just inside the Crystal Palace half. Sakho, only 14 appearances last year with 11 starts. Missed the first game of the season with the injury that he had picked up. But it's Mitchell, down the line towards Jeffrey Schlupp in the box. He gets it across goal towards Townsend, who strikes it. And it's into the bottom left corner. And very deservedly so, Crystal Palace take the lead. I said Townsend got an assist last week. And if he could be at such a danger this week, and he certainly has, a great ball down the line by Mitchell, the young left-back, finding the run of Schlupp, the former Leicester man. Nice touch ahead of him with the chest. Lindelof didn't do enough. Luke Shaw and Maguire asleep at that back post, couldn't deal with it. And as he does enter that back post area, on his weak foot, on that right foot, was able to just guide it home beyond David De Gea. Got a hand to it, to be fair, the Spaniard, onto the post and in. And for Crystal Palace, it's a very much deserved lead. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. So bad from De Gea. I'm a goalkeeper, so it was quite harsh if you're going to say so bad, because it was right across the goal, and it was a shot, he was going the opposite way, so he had to cut back. To get a hand on it was good enough, but just couldn't keep it out, and United already got an uphill battle to climb and try and conquer as well, as Maguire brings it out from defence, finds Marcus Rashford into McTominay. It's on the halfway line to Victor Lindelof, here since 2017 now, a regular alongside Harry Maguire. 117th appearance today. And here he's still on the ball, over towards Maguire. Finds Shaw, who was asleep at that back post for the Townsend goal, and it's Martial. Rashford into Shaw. If you are new here, please subscribe and like, that would help me out massively, as they've got it down this left hand side, United, and not much urgency. Like I said, they haven't played the Premier League yet, so it might take them a little bit longer. But the Crystal Palace pressing so far has been superb. Dan James, I think, was first touch of the ball within the first 8 minutes. Gets it back to Lindelof. Just patient play here from Manchester United. It's Shaw on the ball. Tries to get down the line. Blocked off by Ward, but fell right back to Luke Shaw. Into Rashford. Looking inside towards Fernandez, picked up by Chiarte, cleared, and I think he got it off. Fernandez with the clearance to win the throw-in, nicely done by the Senegalese centre-back. Usually a central midfielder, Chiarte, but with the shortage of centre-backs, no Scott Dan, no Gary Cahill for Crystal Palace, no James Tompkins, so they're very short at the back. They have took that throw-in towards Ayew, couldn't hold it against McTominay. Nice to have the ball again. Shaw, try to bring it forward. Deflected, and it finds Rashford. Massive tackle from Joe Ward, and fantastically won the ball for Crystal Palace and digs it up looking for Wilfried Zaha. Too much on it. Falls behind him over towards Fosu Mensah, and De Gea has the ball once again. But if you are new here, please subscribe. It does help massively towards, growing the channel that little bit more. So it's Fernandez dropped deep towards that left back position for the ball. Passes it. It's gone astray. Deflected. And Palace tried to break here. Is Zaha looking down the line towards Townsend? It will be met there by Maguire, and he just lets it run for a throw-in, but straight into that corner flag. So they've boxed in. Very poor from Fernandez. You don't really see poor passes from him very often. Was such an influential player last year for Manchester United. 7 assists in the Premier League, 8 assists in all competitions, despite only being there since late January. But it is Luke Shaw with that throw, goes long and finds Rashford. He flicks it on as far as Joe Ward, prods it up, looking for, I think that's Jordan Ayew. Couldn't find a Palace man, cleared by Manchester United, and it's out for a throw-in to Palace again inside the United half. Roy Hodgson wanting to set up the Palace team in the best way for them to win this game, and so far he's got it spot on. Currently, I was looking at the Roy Hodgson jobs he's had, and some of them were crazy jobs. He's been all around the world in his managerial career, as it is Schlupp to Townsend, strikes it from afar and he drags it wide. No real issue there for David De Gea. Townsend picked it up from the throw, completed a 1-2 with Joe Ward, got it into Wilfried Zaha. He found Andros Townsend. He was always being dragged wide. No real conviction on the shot. It does stay 1-0. Like I was saying, he's been everywhere. He even managed the United Arab Emirates towards the 2002 and 2004 years. And that was 750 days. And in those days, they played 2 games. And they drew and lost. Didn't even win. So I thought that was just a bit crazy. Then he managed Liverpool, 31 matches there. England, 55 towards 2012-2016, having 3 very poor tournaments actually. One in Euro 2012 where they were knocked out by Italy. One in Brazil where they were knocked out in the group stage of the World Cup there. And then a very embarrassing 2-1 defeat to Iceland in 2016 Euros. So not very much of a success, but found a job at Crystal Palace, and he's done very well here so far in charge of the Eagles. It's Dan James, picks it up on the right, looks inside for Fernandez, intercepted by McCarthy, and he lobs it down the right hand side of Palace, looking for, I think that is Wilfried Zaha, but it's easily picked up by Shaw, and he sends it down the line towards Fernandez. Nice touch into Rashford in the final third, lays it back off to Bruno Fernandes, finds Fosu Mensah a little bit of space. Will he strike it? He will. Deflected out for a corner. Fancying his chances there, Timothy Fosu Mensah. Those 3 appearances he got last year were all at the back end of the season, all the last 3 games for the Dutch international. Yet to score for Manchester United. You wouldn't have him down as a scorer, so it's no surprise he hasn't bagged one yet. He fancies his chances there. Didn't quite come off for him, and it will be Fernandes to take the corner. One step, lobbed in towards the back post where Pogba heads it down towards McTominay. Lays it off to the edge of the box to Dan James. Back to Fernandes. James again. Gets a lovely dig cross, and it's teasing up there. Headed away by Palace and cleared away by McCarthy. Long, it's bouncing. Lindelof needs to deal with it. Heads it. Is that too short? As he's chased by Wilfried Zaha, De Gea has to deal with it. Very, very bizarre defending. Lindelof didn't get the heading power he needed to get it back to De Gea. Then he kind of just bottled out the tackle there, De Gea, and nearly led Zaha through with an open goal to double Palace's lead. Just a long, hopeful clearance, short by Lindelof, and De Gea, very hesitant, shocking clear of defending and goalkeeping, really. Looked like he was scared to go into the tackle and somehow got away with that. Because if he makes that mistake, that is 2-0 Crystal Palace. But they are now attacking Manchester United with Paul Pogba. Dan James back to Fernandes. Does like to pick up the ball deep and switch the play from there, which he does here with Maguire. Lindelof. Over towards Fernandes. Heavy touch. Picked up by Jeffrey Schlupp. It's poor again by Fernandes. And it's now Jordan Ayew who he releases it to. Sorry, it is Zaha. Great run. Back towards Schlupp on the left. He's got space to get the cross in. He does so. Headed away by Lindelof. Good defending. Falls straight back to Mitchell. Now Schlupp again. Does he keep the ball in? He does, but loses it to Dan James. It's now Fosu-Mensah. Tackled by Mitchell and out for a throw-in down that right-hand side. Fernandes with 2 poor passes already, leading to chances for Crystal Palace to get forward and give them a few questions there. Oh, that may have been a Manchester United. That might have been a Crystal Palace throw-in. Looking at the replay, that one replay we were given, but I'm not too sure. But they've played out from the back with now Pogba on the ball. Left-footed switch towards, that's Bruno Fernandes. Met by Joe Ward, tackles him nicely. Manchester United throw-in. Fernandes not quite at his best so far, which is unlike him after the first 15 minutes. Deep inside the United half, we've got with Victor Lindelof. Fosu-Mensah does find Dan James. Very disappointing season for him at United last year, as he has the ball still down the right after a 1-2 with Pogba. Finds Martial, turns. Many white and blue shirts around him. Has to just find it back to Dan James. Now Fosu-Mensah beat Dan James. I was very disappointed with him. He got to a great start, scored 3 goals early on, and then that was it. The goals in the Premier League dried up and in all competitions. He only scored late on in the Champions League against LSK when they were already in. That's right before lockdown happened, where they won 5-0 away from home. It was just a very poor season overall for Dan James. Got a few assists, got 7, which isn't a bad total. But when you're scoring 3 goals at the start of the season, then you can't score since then. That's not what you need at a Manchester United player. Palace have cleared it after United's failed attack, but straight back to United as he goes off the pitch, and it's a quick throw-in taken by Lindelof to Maguire. Up towards Fosu-Mensah. Now Paul Pogba on the halfway line, picks it up, turns, passes, it's deflected, and he falls to Andros Townsend, who picks it up, leaves it for McCarthy. Nice skill. I think he just clipped Fernandes while he was dribbling. Don't think that's a foul. I think they're allowed to play on, or they've just stopped the play there. Palace, Bruno Fernandes is down, looking quite hurt. I'll keep you updated if this is as serious as it looks. Totally accidental from James McCarthy. Was literally chopping to keep the ball away, doing a bit of skill to keep the ball for Palace, and I think he may have just caught Fernandes. He was just doing a skill, and he's just trod on the end of his toe. Totally accidental. That will be a little bit of a nasty one for Fernandes to take. I think he will be okay, but that will just be a little bit of a painful one to have to endure. He is hobbling off the pitch, but I think he will be okay. But yeah, if you're in here, if you've got any predictions, let me know. I want to see what you're thinking of the game so far. If you're watching it, if you're not, you just got a prediction, let me know. Like I said, for videos this week, on the next week coming, we've got the Stop County episodes on Tuesday, and then hopefully I am getting a mystery jersey from Mystique Jerseys. You might have seen it on TikTok. I've bought one of them. I'm going to do a video on that. That should be hopefully coming to me early next week, so I'll get a video on that, and I'll put that on Thursday, revealing what I got. I'll do an unboxing. I think that'll be a pretty cool video, something different. As we do continue with Guy taking a kick out of his hands, won by Palace and had to be headed away by Lindelof for a throw-in, and Bruno Fernandes is on the pitch and he is okay. I thought he would be. He didn't look too serious, but did just look like a bit of a painful one at the time, but nothing too serious for the Portuguese, because that is something that United definitely don't want. Have to be playing any amount of time without him on the pitch, especially when they're behind as well, 1-0 at home. But it's Mitchell with this throw-in on the left-hand side. That is Tyreek Mitchell as well. Throws it, won by Fosu-Mensah. Now Dan James into Lindelof, first time clearance away to Martial. Chests it down, keeps it, and lays it off to McTominay. Heavy touch, falls straight to Joe Ward, and it's still in a dangerous area for Palace. Tripped over here by Paul Pogba. That is Wilfried Zaha. It's a third foul from Paul Pogba. Needs to be careful, as Wilfried Zaha has got the captain's armband as well for today's game. That's great to see, because we know Milivojevic on the pitch and no Scott Dan. Means he is obviously third in line for captaincy out of the players they've got available on the pitch. Andros Townsend will take it again. Like I said, he got that assist and he's got the goal already today. Could he be getting a goal and an assist? On the angle, so it will be a cross too far out for a shot, but we know what he can do from range after that goal of the season against City 2 seasons ago. Here he is. Crosses it, swings it in, Rashford heads it straight into the box. It's MacArthur, falls towards Sacco, cleared away by United with Pogba. Does fall towards Rashford, is able to bring it down and flick it over his head to Dan James, and he gets on the end of it. In the Palace half, he's got Martial running beyond him, and he uses him on the left-hand side, just on the edge of the box. Martial twists, turns, looks for the pass towards James, deflects away, and Crystal Palace can clear. And Luke Shaw on it, keeps it alive nicely, and can bring it forward for the Red Devils. Luke Shaw, he's got Rashford to his left, uses him, pokes it in towards Pogba on the edge of the box, takes a touch, strikes it. It's an easy save for Guaita in the end, down to his right-hand side, towards the near post there, Pogba. Not too bad of a strike. Got a little bit of decent dip on it, but not the conviction needed. But not too bad from Manchester United. 2-0 to Palace. United no threat to anyone. No, well, not at the minute, after the first 20 minutes, but we know how United can just flick a switch and they can get going with the quality they've got as the goal kick's been taken, and Schlupp can't keep it in the Palace possession and gives it away with McTominay on the ball. Releases to Harry Maguire. Now Luke Shaw. Great pressing from Palace, really high up the pitch and forcing United just to go sideways, and they can't really get the ball forwards into the dangerous positions where they want to be going towards. As it is still Fosu Mensah over towards Victor Lindelof. Most Premier League appearances in the season last year with 35. His second best was the season before that with 30, so showing more trust in himself and in the manager, playing that many games. As is Lindelof on the ball here still to McTominay, brings it forward and finds Luke Shaw, who's pushed high and wide towards Maguire. Not much pace in the play here for Manchester United. I'm hoping they can pick it up a little bit with James on the ball, one of the quickest players in the Premier League. So if you want speed, you definitely want to be forcing it down the right-hand side. It's Fernandes. Maguire quickly into Luke Shaw. He's got a run from Rashford down the left, picks him out, touch, keeps it under the spell of his 2 feet and drills it into McTominay, who strikes it. Oh no, it's just wide from the Scotsman. Might have been a deflection, and it is. It will be a corner. Worked down that left-hand side. It was ended up into Fernandes, who did just find a little gap where McTominay had found himself in the box. Just a slight deflection that took the spin off it, really, and did send it wide for a corner. Not too far away from Scott McTominay. 4 goals last season. His most famous one will be against Manchester City, where he sealed the 3 points, and the corner's gone to nothing. Played it short, and they've dispossessed already. Yeah, when Henderson made that mistake from the long throw and fell straight to McTominay and struck it from range. That was before lockdown as well. A packed Old Trafford. Went crazy after beating their noisy neighbours as they've lost the ball. Manchester United, it's Jeffrey Schlupp who can bring it away. He's one-on-one with Lindelof. He's got options to his right and left. Tries to take on McTominay, Schlupp. And gets dispossessed in the end, and he can bring it away and lay it off to Bruno Fernandes. Is this the game starting to become a tad more open here as Pogba has room to run into? Lays it back to Fernandes. Goes forward towards Dan James on the byline. Gets a cross in. Blocked off by Mitchell. Another corner for Manchester United. Poor really from Schlupp. He had a good chance there to release it to the left or right, but decided to try and take on Lindelof, who was ahead of him, and then the person behind him, he was tracking back. McTominay was able to get round and deal with it. The question is, can Palace hold out? Fernandes takes the corner towards Maguire, wins the header, still alive, towards Martial, brings it down, flicks it over, needs to get the crossing on this far left, keeps heading back towards the corner flag, does find Maguire nicely, he releases to McTominay on the edge of the box, gets into the box, tries to find Martial, couldn't quite slip him in, out for a goal kick. Unfortunate from McTominay, could see the foot there from the 23-year-old. 85th first team appearance for Scott McTominay, and he's looking dangerous when he does get in the offensive positions for Manchester United, but he is their more defensive midfielder today. No Fred, he's on the bench. No Matic, he's not in the squad. And with Pogba, who's not really seen as the defensive kind of player, he will be the one who needs to be doing the more of the defensive work. But just about to hit the 24th minute, and we have it still United trailing. As Gaeta takes that goal kick. Ayew can't win his header, but Fernandez does only as far as Jeffrey Schlupp. Poor straight into Fosu Mensah. His pass gets past McTominay, and it falls to Jordan Ayew. Releases to Andros Townsend on the edge of the box. He's now in the box, gets onto his left, strikes it. Always going high and wide. Disappointed with himself there, Andros Townsend. Felt like he should have done better with it, and he probably could have. Fosu Mensah couldn't quite get it to McTominay. Fell right under his foot, and it was Townsend who was able to shift it onto his left, and no deflection taken. That was just a horrific shot, really. But good thinking, good intention from Andros Townsend. As Rashford picked it up in an offensive area down the final third, trying to get past McCarthy, and Joe Ward. Couldn't quite do so as he was doubled up. And it's going to be, I think, a Manchester United throw-in, and it is. If you are not already liked the stream, please do. It does help massively. And if you can subscribe if you haven't, that would be also great as well. As Luke Shaw takes a throw-in long towards Fernandez. Blocked off by Chiarte. Still in the mix here for United. It's Fernandez goes for a volley. Falls to Martial, who's just behind him. He finds Fosu Mensah. Into Dan James. Fosu Mensah again. Not many options at all here for Manchester United. Lindelof into Fernandez. First time pass into Fosu Mensah again. Looks for Martial, who dropped deep for the ball. Turns. Past McCarthy. Big tackle from McCarthy. Still forced to Fernandez on the left foot. Strikes it deflected. It's an easy save again for Gaeta. Big tackle there from McCarthy to stop Martial from going through on goal. It was a clean tackle. Got the ball. And then McCarthy couldn't get it out of his feet, and it did fall to Fernandez. Blocked by Chiarte. Didn't divert it away from goal. We're still goal bound. But the deflection did take the pace off the shot and cause no issue for Vincent Gaeta, the man in between the sticks for Crystal Palace. The 33-year-old, as we have got James McCarthy injured at the minute. I'm not sure where he picked it up from. He might have been from the tackle on Martial. He might have come out worse from it. We have got 10 people in here. That's fantastic. If you aren't liked and subscribe, please do. It's great to see double figures in the stream. But we're just going to have to keep an eye out on that McCarthy. If he does get taken off, it might make my job easier when you've got a McArthur and a McCarthy in the midfield. But Roy Hodgson, like I said, he's a very experienced manager. Very, very experienced. I think that's a little bit of an understatement, I think, for the 73-year-old. Actually played right back in his playing days, Roy Hodgson. All those years back. Born on the 9th of August, 1947. So he's definitely been around the block, that's for sure. But he's now been here for 4 years at Crystal Palace, and he did come in at a time where they were struggling for a manager. They brought in Frank de Boer. He was sacked very, very early on in the season. I think they went about 7 games without a win. And then they brought in Big Sam Allardyce, to settle the ship and get them keep them in the Premier League. And then they did find Roy Hodgson, who's been on board since. And 123 games later, he's still here and currently leading to 3 points at Old Trafford. But we've got the game back underway. McCarthy back on the pitch as it's Fosu Mensah clipping it down the right-hand side. Can't find Dan James. It's gone out of play. Going to be a throw-in for Tyreek Mitchell of Crystal Palace. Yeah, McCarthy seems to be okay. Tyreek Mitchell sends it down the line with that throw-in towards Zaha. Ayew can't keep it going, and won back by Manchester United with De Gea laying it forward towards Harry Maguire. 6'4" lad from Sheffield, playing in the theatre of dreams. I think he was a United fan when he was growing up, so what a dream to have to be captain of the side you grew up. It's such a big club as well. Previous captains like, Roy Keane, Wayne Rooney, players like that. It's a nice list of players to be alongside as Luke Shaw brings it forward for Manchester United. For some reason the game's gone off my screen. I do apologise. Just give me literally 2 seconds. It's definitely not annoying. Sorry about this. Hopefully goal doesn't happen. Imagine that. That would be horrific. We are back with Lindelof on the ball, so nothing's quite happened from it. Goes to his left to Scott McTominay. So many white, blue and red patterned shirts in the way of Manchester United for Luke Shaw to have to poke it out to Rashford on the left. He's got space to run into. does meet a Crystal Palace man, so lays it off to McTominay. Now finds Lindelof. Swipes it towards Dan James. Looking to take on Mitchell. Does so and gets a cross in. Cleared away by Sacco. Finds Fernandes. His cross blocked. And Crystal Palace are away. Wilf Zaha down the left. Tries to take on Lindelof for pace. Can he do so? Great defending from the Swedish international. Because you would think Zaha had him for pace there, but he was able to keep up and just tackle him away for a corner. Looked dangerous there. Wilfried Zaha back at his old stomping ground of Manchester United. Joined in 2013. Won me the 4 first team appearances for the Red Devils. Whoever did subscribe, thank you very much. I have seen that. We're on 430 now. But what a headline that would be if Zaha were to lead Crystal Palace's captain to 3 points at Old Trafford. It's McCarthy to take the corner. Swung in right into the box where Maguire can only chest it down. It falls to Schlupp, who tries to get a strike away, tackled, and Martial can lay it into Fernandes, who chips it to the other side of the left, looking for Rashford. It's Gaita who comes out, slices his clearance, and Joel Ward can deal with it. He leaves a little bit of on Rashford. The referee didn't see anything wrong with it, and Townsend can bring it forward for Crystal Palace. The game has had to be stopped by Andros Townsend, and the referee, as it looks like a facial injury or head injury for Rashford. May have just got a knock. He did look like Joel Ward did lean in with an elbow there to try and stop him from getting that Rashford. Horrific from Gaita. Yeah, did lean in with the arm. It would have been a bit of a nasty one there for Marcus Rashford, that's for sure. Hold on, just give me a second. I've just got to do something. Which I'll still be here. Yeah, nasty one, that. Sorry about that. I just had to move something just quickly. Rashford is going to be fine. He's going to get back on his feet. It just would have been a bit of a sore one for him, because Joe Ward did understand the predicament he was in. It's like if Rashford can bring this down, then he is more likely going to score, because Gaita's in no man's land. But Joe Ward is apologetic. He's experienced, Joe Ward, 30 years of age now. Did score 1 goal in his 11 appearances against them. This is his 12th. Scored back in 2019 on the 27th of February in a 3-1 defeat at Selhurst Park. And it's going to be a drop, but I think he's just going to drop the ball for Anders Townsend here, Martin Atkinson. And play will continue. Don't think anything would have come from Anders Townsend getting forward there. But you just never know. But they've dropped the ball, and it's Townsend. Still on the ball as he's got the ball back from the midfield. It's now McCarthy looking down the line towards Ayew. It's Maguire who picks it up, and Marcus Rashford can come back onto the pitch on the left. With Lindelof playing it to the left centre-back of Harry Maguire. Now De Gea on the ball. Can distribute effectively. No, he can't. Straight into Joe Ward, who heads it down towards Townsend, but it's Fernandes who picks it up. Gets it off Luke Shaw. Into Rashford, who can spin and run down this left. Lays it off to Shaw. Cuts back. Not many options for him. He's had to just go behind towards Fernandes. They're struggling to find the space here, United, and that's all down to the fantastic work of Crystal Palace so far. It's Fernandes tries to dink it in towards Rashford in the box. Dealt with by Chiarte and can keep it in and clear as well. Down to Ayew. Tries to poke it behind him towards MacArthur. Can't quite do so. Picked up by Fernandes into Martial. Back to Fernandes. Fosu Mensah. Over towards McTominay. Now Rashford on the left. Cutting in on that right. Can he get a strike away? Right on the edge of the box. Does shoot. Blocked. Up in the air. McTominay heads it on. Brought down by MacArthur and cleared. And again, Crystal Palace survive that wave of an attack. As it's Lindelof on the ball. He's going to look over to the left again. Maybe preferring that as a stronger side. Manchester United not really used the right hand side as much. Here is Fosu Mensah into Daniel James. Back over towards Lindelof. Only one signing made so far for United, and they're very upset about that, United fans so far. And it's been a great signing, don't get me wrong. Donnie Van Der Beek is a great signing, but you feel like they might need a little bit more where teams are also improving. Only the one signing, Paul Pogba. Poor pass, and it's picked up by McCarthy. Sent forward down the right, by MacArthur, looking for Townsend, but Harry Maguire just lets it roll out for a throw, and his too much was put on the pass in the end. Luke Shaw, again, he's too lazy with it, and Townsend could pick it up, and it's McCarthy who lazy back to Joe Ward, goes back to the goalkeeper, Gaita, who can clear in the end, only as far as a McTominay header, straight into the middle of the park where MacArthur has it. Back to Joe Ward, he's got time to clear now. Just a little chip down the line, it's Maguire who meets it, and releases to Shaw. Burst of energy here from the English left back, and he's got it back from Martial, completes a 1-2, looks for the cross. Too much on it, way too much on it. Straight over to the opposite side for a Crystal Palace throw-in where Tyreek Mitchell will take. Tyreek Mitchell played 90 minutes in the first game against Southampton. Like I said, they're very injury-struck in the defensive areas. That's why you got Cheku Kiarte at the back, at centre-back, and they are just mentioned here on Sky. Scored in West Ham's 1-1 Premier League home draw versus United in 2015. I mentioned that before, where he did score, and that's his only goal against United in the first appearance he made against them. And Crystal Palace have cleared from the throw-in, brought down, I think, by Zaha, but it's Luke Shaw who meets it as he gets there ahead of Andros Townsend, and they have to start from the back again. Manchester United. Maguire on the ball for United. Finds Fernandes on the halfway line. Releases to Dan James. Fosu-Mensah makes a underlapping run. Uses him, and he gets in the box. Fosu-Mensah lays it back towards Martial. Falls to Dan James in the end. Deflected. Back towards Fosu-Mensah on that right-hand side, and it's offside on Fosu-Mensah as he did regain the ball back from the deflected shot. Dan James, great play, good spin from the inward run there from Fosu-Mensah. Was able to spin and turn Tyreek Mitchell way too easily. Sakho couldn't recover and then pulled it back towards Martial. It was backheeled by McCarthy as he tried to deal with the cross, and then the Dan James shot was poor in the end. I don't think it would have caused any issues for the keeper if it got towards him anyway, but he was blocked off by McCarthy, who did set it off for Dan James with that back heel. And then Fosu-Mensah was coming back from an offside position as the ball was deflected, and Gaita will take that free kick down the left. Can he be flicked on? It is by Ayew, met by Lindelof. Had to be met there by the Swedish international. It's Schlupp with a quick throw-in. Kept in by Zaha, only as far as Lindelof. Poked back in by Fosu-Mensah, and Pogba with an outside of the foot pass can set away Luke Shaw. Has the pace on Townsend currently, then goes inside looking for Rashford. Deflected by McCarthy and off Joe Ward, and he does find its way back to Luke Shaw. 1-2 with Rashford and a Meg through the legs of McCarthy. Keeps the ball for United, and it's McTominay over to Fosu-Mensah. Now finds James. He needs to run at the defence, but he instead lays it off to Fosu-Mensah. Goes for the attempted cross. Deflects off Mitchell. Sorry, Schlupp, and out for a throw-in. Fernandes takes the throw-in quickly. Goes backwards towards Lindelof. They need a bit more urgency before half-time, United, if they can try and get an equaliser. Chipped in towards Luke Shaw in the box. Won nicely by Joe Ward, and it will be a throw-in for United. I think he just caught one on the back of the head there, Joe Ward. He's definitely felt that one. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think he may have just got a skim on the back of his head there, Joe Ward. I'm not too sure. But I think we have restarted here, and they've had to force it back to the halfway line through that throw-in to Lindelof, who I presume has had the most touches on the pitch so far, because he's always been on the ball. Here is Fosu-Mensah. Again, there's no real room. There's so many... I said there's so many men behind the ball. All 11 are behind the ball. As it is Maguire into Luke Shaw. Back to Maguire. Can he look for a crossfield pass? He does towards Fosu-Mensah. Into Dan James. In the final third. Coming inwards and finds Pogba. Back heel into Martial. Lays it off to Fernandes. First time pass looking for the run of Paul Pogba. Fernandes was taken down after the ball had been played, and he's won a free kick right on the edge of the box. As Pogba made the run, I think his foot was trodden on as well because his shoe came flying off as well. But good creative work from Fernandes, which we know he can do. Just caught by Townsend after the ball had been played. And Pogba made that darting run into the box where his shoe was taken off. Just accidentally by McCarthy. To trod on the back of his foot completely by accident. Wasn't even looking at Pogba when it had happened. But they are looking at it as a potential penalty. I don't think it can be because he literally wasn't looking at Pogba at all. He had his eyes on the ball at all times. So if that's a penalty, I'm going to have to disagree. But you know what it is with our Chester United and the penalties they get given each game. I don't think it will be a penalty. That it was completely accidental by the number 22 of James McCarthy. They're having a good look at this. I can't see that given. He's completely he does trod on the back of his foot and takes off his shoe. And I think they have given it a free kick. It looks like it. It does look like Martin Atkinson's put down the spray for the wall. Are they? They're still looking at this. No, in fact, that was me lying. Still looking at this. I can see why they think it's a foul because he does trod on the back of his foot and takes him down in the box, Pogba. But it is completely accidental. He's looking at the ball through the whole time. He's not even once looked behind him and gone, "Oh no, Pogba's behind me." VAR have had their saying it will just be a free kick on the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes hits the wall, and away for a corner. Decent use of VAR there. Took, I think, a little too long looking at that as it cannons off the head of Joe Ward in the box. And we're just under 5 minutes to go plus added on time. It's still 1-0 to Crystal Palace. They want to get in at half-time. 1-0 to the good to show for their hard work. It'll be Luke Shaw to take an out-swinging corner towards Paul Pogba. He can't win the header of Jeffrey Schlupp, who heads away. Towards Fernandes, who works it back to Shaw. Inside to Rashford. Works a little bit of room. Tries to lay it off to Fernandes. Taken down from behind. And no foul, says the referee, as Fosu Mensah still has it. I thought Fernandes was taken down again with a heavy touch from Martial. And Crystal Palace can counter from this. Jordan Ayew try to get away from Maguire. Brought down just inside the Crystal Palace half. And that will be a free kick for the Eagles in their Puma away strip. Yeah, just taken down by Maguire. I think he caught himself on his right foot and kind of slips off it and goes down. There, Jordan Ayew, the Ghanaian international, with 57 caps for his nation to his name. Mamadou Sakho to take this free kick. Chipped down the left. Can Lindelof deal with it? He can. Heads it down towards Fosu Mensah, who clears. Lucky for Fernandes. Looks to just hoof it forward towards Martial to cause some problems. It's met by Kouyaté first time, but Rashford a second. His header's poor looking for Martial. Joel Ward is the one who can batter it away. And it stayed on the pitch by Maguire in that defensive final third for the Red Devils. Given to McTominay, who can bring it forward. Luke Shaw just beyond the halfway line. He finds the ball looking for Fernandes. Dealt with nicely by Kouyaté. It's now McCarthy into Townsend. Laid off to Joel Ward and goes down the line. Not quite on the same wavelength there. Wilfried Zaha falling straight back to David De Gea. Now Lindelof on the ball into Scott McTominay. Over to Paul Pogba. They need him to start creating a little bit more. And he just found a nice pass into Rashford. Spins, turns, uses Fernandes. Now Luke Shaw again. Poked over the defender's leg and into Martial, who's dropped deep for the ball. Fernandes finds Shaw nicely in the gap. Can he keep it in, Luke Shaw? No, he can't. Couldn't keep it in off the byline. Out for a Crystal Palace goal kick. Great ball from Bruno Fernandes there. Was able to find the gap in between the fullback and centre-back. There is Donnie Van Der Beek, as I can see him. £39 million signing. Like I said, that's the only person they've brought in. They've brought a few out as well. Chong out on loan to Werder Bremen. Angel Gomez was left on a free. One of the more exciting players of United in the last couple of years. A lot of people might have heard about him, but he's gone out to Lille and he's been shipped straight out on loan to Boavista in Portugal. That's where he's ended up, if any United fans are interested where he's gone to. As McTominay's been taken down by Andros Townsend just beyond the halfway line for a free kick for Manchester United. Yeah, foul there from Townsend. He was going for the ball, but didn't quite get there. Like I say, if we're going to talk about transfers, Sanchez as well, off to Inter Milan. Joe Pereira on loan, the goalkeeper, Portuguese he's gone to Huddersfield as Dan James has it. Crosses, easily dealt with by Sacco, falls straight back to Pogba. Over to his left to Lindelof. Can they keep this attack going? 40 seconds until we hit that 45th minute. It's Maguire into McTominay, back to Lindelof. Here's Pogba. Can he find that magic that United need? Lays it off to Fosu-Mensah. Into Dan James. Falls back to Lindelof still. McTominay. Heavy pass, forced Lindelof to have to play back to De Gea. It's now Maguire. Brings it forward. To his left is Rashford, who's dropped deep for the ball. It's great for the United attackers to be on the ball, but they keep all dropping way too deep for any leads. Not many options ahead of them. Here's Fosu-Mensah. On the right-hand side is Dan James. Now going to Paul Pogba. Quickly laid off to Harry Maguire. 4 minutes of additional time for United. Maguire dinked over towards Fosu-Mensah, who's in the box. Lays it down first time towards Fernandes. Into Dan James. 1-2 back to Fernandes. Over towards Fosu-Mensah. Crosses it. Falls all the way. Ward pokes a toe out and sets off Zaha. He's one-on-one with Lindelof again. This is not the first time this has happened in the game. He's got runners to his right and left. That try to take on Fernandes. Good defensive duties from the Portuguese. Slows down the attack, but Zaha still comes out of it. And it's now Ayew on the left, in the box. One-on-one with McTominay. Gets onto his right. Can he hit it? He can. It's a great right-handed save from De Gea to keep it at 2-0. And that is showing how Crystal Palace can be so dangerous on the counter-attack when they pickpocket United in those attacking areas. Zaha did great to keep a hold of it after being slowed down by Fernandes. Poor really from McTominay to let Ayew cut onto his right foot. Went to strike it a first time, hesitated, then definitely did it a second and forced a great save from David De Gea, which will do his confidence very much a good. As he obviously is under criticism as of late, and now he's got competition from Dean Henderson, who we know is a fantastic goalkeeper after every season at Sheffield United. But here is a Crystal Palace corner, taken by Andros Townsend. In swinger towards the back post, Lindelof deals with it, with the header, towards Joe Ward, who keeps it alive. Down this left-hand side is Zaha, who brings it down. Nice little turn on the edge of the box. Strikes it towards the near post, hits the side netting. Never going to quite be as dangerous as what Crystal Palace would have hoped for with that shot. And De Gea distributes quickly towards Maguire. Now Bruno Fernandes in that kind of left-back area to bring the ball forward. And he's going to look for a dinked ball over the top, looking for Rashford. Won by Mamadou Sakho, formerly of PSG. Made a fair few appearances for them as well, but Fosu-Mensah, who he was headed down to, has lost it to Ayew. And he keeps it, tackled the first time, but it'll just be Schlupp who takes over now. Gets past McTominay, he's taken down. And it falls to now Zaha. He's taken down by McTominay, where the advantage was non-existent. And the free kick's been given against McTominay. And Palace have the ball. Like I said, Schlupp taken down there. That's where the free kick's been given. For that one that was given against him. Schlupp, like I said before, Palace player now, but was of a Leicester player. Where he made 24 appearances and scored in that title-winning season. 5,000 to 1 odds to win the Premier League, and they win it. That is something of a miracle, if I say so myself. It will be Sakho to take this free kick. Dinked to the left, and it's flicked on by Schlupp, sorry. Into Ayew, and he's going to run at Fosu-Mensah on the byline. Cuts back and looks behind him. Mitchell's an option. He's right in that corner flag now against Pogba. Can he win a throw-in, a free kick? A corner maybe. No, it's Pogba who wins it. Mitchell tackles. It's very scrappy in that corner. It's going to be a Manchester United throw-in. As Dan James and Paul Pogba versus Mitchell and Ayew. And it's Pogba and James who come out victorious with the throw-in. Fosu-Mensah to take just 40 seconds left of this first 45 minutes, or 49 minutes, with the additional time. Thrown down the line towards Martial. He can't keep it. Saka was able to guide it back towards McCarthy. And now to the goalkeeper, Gaita. Dinked, looking for Schlupp down the left, and he does find him. Looks for a ball over the top towards Ayew, who's a bit scuffed up there by Schlupp, but it's Zaha who comes over to Lindelof, puts him under immense pressure, but Then gives away a free kick due to that immense pressure. And United do have a free kick with 5 seconds to go, and I think that will be the last play of the half, as we have hit the 49th minute. And I'm presuming the referee will blow for half time, and he does, as we do go in at the break. Manchester United 0, Crystal Palace 1. It's an Andros Townsend 7th minute goal that has made the difference so far for the Eagles, and they've defended well, they've pressed well. United have found it hard to create chances. A Pogba shot and a deflected Fernandes shot, both down to the right of Gaeta, were the only noteworthy chances for United. Other than that, they've been far and few in between for them. I think if you're a Palace fan, you are very happy with that first half performance. Nothing really you can complain about. A great start to the season against Southampton last week, and still a game and a half into the season, you're yet to concede. And with the signing of Arabici Eze for 20 million from QPR, with him on the bench, you still got so much threat still. And then with the loan signing of Michy Batshuayi as well, not a stranger to Crystal Palace fans, made 13 appearances in all competitions in his loan spell at the club back in 18-19 season, where he picked up 6 goals, because he did go on a bit of a loan spell kind of travel. Batshuayi was at Palace and he was at Dortmund, where he played 14 games, scored 9, which I think is a successful loan spell. Played in Valencia as well, so he's hoping to find a settled home here, and maybe this away trip from Stamford Bridge back to Palace could be the start of a new start for Batshuayi, and maybe a permanent signing could be imminent come the end of the season if he impresses Roy Hodgson enough. If you've got any thoughts on that first half, let me know, put it in the chat. I can answer any questions now if you want to say anything. Next week's commentary will be West Brom versus Chelsea as well. Same place, same time, 5:30 kickoff. Stream will start at 5:20. Because with me being in school and having to do these notes I do, it is hard to do 2 games at a weekend, to do 2 sets of notes. So it's just the 1 game each week so far. I'll have a look which the one after that is, if they have put out the next set of fixtures. Let me just check the football commentary Instagram, which you can find at football.commentaries, I think it is. Football_commentaries. 51 followers, 2 posts as well. If you want to follow that, you can do so. Just need to do something quickly, but if you've got anything in the chat, please say. Venomix is back already. You know what? I think it's time. You're here every stream. You're always commentating. I'm going to make you a moderator. So that's kind of just recognising what you've done in the stream for the last month or 2. And if anyone's being... Don't overuse it. If you do, I can just take it off you. But I trust you a lot. If there's anyone being silly in the chat, you can just time them out yourself. If I don't see it, or if I'm commentating the game, I see it late, you can do that. And I think that is just... you're always here. You're always in the chat. Always first here. Always liking. You just... I think you deserve a moderator. So there you go. Straight back after watching the game. And then he said he'd come back at half time. He's straight here in the chat. So, yeah, I respect that. We have football_commentaries for the Instagram, where I post updates of my next commentaries, which I forgot to do. Unfortunately, that's why I'm just emailing myself the thumbnail for this game. Thanks, mate. It's alright. You deserve it. You're always here. It's not even just like once... one stream, you're kind of here, not... It's every stream for that. I don't even know, last 2-3 months. You're here and always in the chat, talking, giving your thoughts on the game and stuff. It just helps, and, I think that's deserved. That's the first one I give out in over a year of doing this. So yeah, I think that was deserved anyway. Don't want to give them out, just when I feel like it or anything, because that's just not fair. I do wait until it's the right time. But in terms of content, the links in the descriptions for the 2 series I have on the channel. The football commentaries football talk series. The new episode of that went out on last Thursday. And that was Premier League predictions with me and Harvey. If you want to check that out, you can. I don't know when the next football talk will be out. It'll probably be at the end of the transfer window. That would be an episode. Not this Thursday, because I've got that mystery football jersey thing unboxing. That what I'll do for Thursday, so that'll be that video. And then the Football Manager, which is out every Tuesday now. That's a set time. It's every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. That episode will be out as well next week. And like I said, Chelsea play West Brom next Saturday at 5:30. So that'll be that commentary sorted. And then the week after that, they've not said who with the 5:30 kickoff, so I'll let you know on that on the Football Commentary's Instagram, which you can go and follow. Gareth Bale and Sergio Reguilon announced for Spurs, by the way. Have they been announced? That's interesting. If they have. Give me a sec, I will have a look at that. Obviously, I know they've been linked, and Bale was in London and they were meant to travel that certain day, but I will definitely have a look. Sorry, I just got to do this. I should have done this before. This is my own fault. There we go. But yeah, I'll have a look at that now. Yep. Bale, yep, both been announced. Just reading it here. Reguilon will wear number 3, and Bale is confirmed to be back. I don't think he could play, though, till mid-October with an injury he's got. By the way, apparently, this is what I've heard, they're paying €20 million for this alone, for just a year, £20 million. So, I mean, in terms of shirt sales, I'm presuming they'll gain that back and they'll make money from this. But, I mean, because every Spurs fan will want Gareth Bale on the back of their shirts now this year. So, yeah. If there is any experience of buffering in the stream, I do apologise. Apparently, there's poor connection currently. This happened last week, but currently OBS aren't showing any drop-offs of information, so it shouldn't be buffering. But if it is, I do apologise. Not much I can do about that at the minute, because it says OBS is doing okay. So, I mean, yeah, if it is buffering, I do apologise. I don't know why. I'm connected to the internet and everything. So if you do experience any buffering, I do apologise. But again, I don't know if you can. But yeah, that's massive, that. Huge for Tottenham. There he is, Reguilon. Great left back as well. I watched him against Wolves, United and Inter Milan, and I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And then I heard United were after him, so I thought, you know, that's a good signing for them. And then Tottenham's just swooped in and got him. So you've got to respect that, as Greenwood looks like he will be coming on for United, as I just saw on the side of the screen. Hope Gareth gets better in terms of skill, yes. But he's already got the skill. I don't think he needs to improve his skill. I think he just needs to get back onto his fitness and maybe dust off any rustiness that he may have. Because of his golf saga, yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, that, isn't it? Played golf for the last 6 months, last 6 months to 12 months of his Madrid contract. It's ridiculous. Yeah, if you are experiencing buffering, can you just let me know? Because I am getting told that it's a poor stream status at the minute, when it's not OBS currently. They're fine. I've got the green. I've got the bright green light of the information is fine, and it shouldn't be buffering. So it might just be YouTube. If there is buffering, can you please let me know? I will very much find that useful at the minute. But yeah, Gareth Bale, he's just a bit of a hit and miss, really. You don't know what, now anyway, because you don't know what you're getting with him, because he's so injury prone. One day he could be the best winger in the world, and the next he's injured and out for 3 months. But we definitely know what he can do, so I think it's a great sign. I think just financially, I think this is a great signing, because yes, it's 20 million and they've got the wages right, but it's not buffering for me, right? Good, because he just keeps saying poor and then back to excellent, so I just want to make sure. What was I saying now? Yeah, like financially, you might be thinking 20 million a year for his contract, but just think of the money they will make from shirt sales and just things like, obviously they won't make money from tickets, obviously, because people can't go into grounds, but every single Spurs fan will want Gareth Bale on the back of their shirt now, just to say because he's back, and just to say I got that shirt when he returned back to Tottenham. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Hopefully, just not injured because I'd love to see him again at his best. By the way, the L in Regulion is silent. Well, I've heard commentators say Regulion or Regulion. I don't know. I'll search into it when I commentate Spurs next, whenever that is. I'll look into it. But I've heard commentate Regulion and Reguilon. So it would be Reguilon. That'd be weird, that. I'll have to look into that one. I'll have a look. I just remember hearing the commentator saying Reguilon. But I could be completely wrong, like you're saying. So, I mean, I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I think that's... If I'm a Tottenham fan, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd be very excited. Very, very excited. That's going to annoy me now. What do I say? Reguilon. That's how you say it, Reguilon. I'll look into it before I comment on them, but I'll take your word for it, Reguilon. Yeah, I want to know what game I'm going to commentate on the week after, but I can't find out. I'm very excited for the next week on West Brom Chelsea. I really want to see Werner, Havertz. I want Thiago Silva in there. I want Chilwell. I want Ziyech. I want everyone involved. I want to see as many as possible, hopefully. That's what we get, because Chelsea do look very exciting this season. That is for sure. I'm sure you can all agree with that one. Very close to the second half, getting underway. Just a couple minutes, and we will see Greenwood on. I presume for Dan James, because he has done nothing. Obviously, when he did, like I said at the start of the commentary, when he did score those 3 goals in the Premier League at the start of the season, it looked really promising, rapid, and then didn't score in the league again, and didn't score until that LASK game in the Europa League, which was in March, just before lockdown. Sorry, they fly. Before lockdown, and then didn't score again. I wasn't impressed with him at all. I didn't see what was so good about him. He didn't have any end products. When he got on a 1v1, he seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. So hopefully this season's a bit better, but he's not kicked it off very well if he is going to get replaced by Greenwood. Exposed, you're not a Spurs fan. Yeah, no. What's going on? Right, I don't know what's going on. This is really annoying me. I just had no data when that's not true. OBS is running fine. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Sorry if you do experience buffering now, because you should have just done then. Because OBS did just drop out, to be fair. To be fair to YouTube. I think it's pronounced Reguilon. See, when I commentate plays, I don't really, I've not heard of too much. I kind of have to say it a few times, like Reguilon, like that, and then in the end I'll get there and it'll stick. But yeah, you will have experienced buffering then, you will have. Because to be fair, OBS did just drop out and I did kind of poo my pants a little bit. God, they never get a smooth stream where just nothing happens. Never. Some League Cup action though in the midweek if you're interested in watching that. That's on Sky. Won't be commentating unfortunately because I'm so busy. Facecam is glitching out. I do apologise if it is. As long as you can hear me fine, I think that's the main thing. But I think we should be okay again. As long as we don't get a full, complete cutout like last week, where I had to completely miss 20 minutes of the first 20 minutes of the second half, and have to restart and start a whole stream up again. As long as that doesn't have to happen, I find that a success. If it just glitches a little bit, then I think I can take that. I can deal with that. But yeah, second half is about to get underway in a few minutes' time. 2 great games, by the way. Again, I won't spoil any results if no one wants to know them, but just to give you a bit of a hint of how good the games were, between the 2 games of Everton, West Brom, Leeds and Fulham, there was 14 goals. My maths is on point there. I don't know if I can doubt myself. 14 goals between the 2 games. So yeah, if you don't want to know the results, then I won't spoil them. And if you're in the chat, don't put them in the chat to ruin anyone, because anyone's like not wanting to know. Because like I said, some people do not like to know the results until that match of the day. That's an English thing. If you're not, it's an English TV show. But yeah, here is the change. Dan James off for Mason Greenwood. That did not take Mason Greenwood long, did it, to get on the pitch. I think Solskjaer was trying to teach him a lesson of you can't get away with doing that stuff away from the club and think you can go back into the starting 11. But I mean, he's literally been dropped for 45 minutes and he's come back on. So I mean, that didn't last very long, did it? But we're about to get back on the way here with United kicking right to left. Palace left to right. They've kicked off with Fernandes playing it back to Pogba. Lays it off to Lindelof, and we are underway for the second half. I will change it from half time, and I will start timer right now. As it is Lindelof passing it over towards Maguire. And can we see a bit more urgency from United in the second half? There goes the timer, and I will just change that to the second half now. There we go. I usually forget to do that, so that was well done from me. And let's go with United on the ball with Luke Shaw. Drives inwards and does try and find Greenwood. Picked up by Chiarte and cleared towards Maguire, who has it just inside the United half. Over to Lindelof. Brings it forward. Keeps running. Goes inside to Martial. Finds Greenwood inside to Rashford. First time ball towards Martial. He tries a first time pass as well towards the left. Picked off by Crystal Palace and cleared straight back to Maguire. It's the one thing that Crystal Palace can't get caught up in, is winning the ball and giving it straight back to United and inviting the pressure. This is McTominay. Does spray it out wide right to Fosu-Mensah. Back to Lindelof. Now Pogba on the ball in the midfield, just inside the United half. Finds Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw, back to Maguire. You feel like Greenwood is a little bit more on it than Dan James then. Straight away, just a first time ball from Greenwood. Straight on it, straight getting United moving again. It's Fosu-Mensah. On the halfway is Lindelof into Pogba, who's just ahead of them. Touches it, gets out his feet, and lovely ball out to Shaw. Inside to Rashford, who takes over. Poor touch, and Palace can pick it up. And he gets dinked out to the right by McCarthy. And Townsend lets it run out for a Crystal Palace throw, as he did just glance off the head of Luke Shaw. Wonder how long it'll be until we see a change from United in terms of the introduction of Donnie Van Der Beek. Big signing, only signing like I've said, but still a very good player for Ajax, and I've watched him against Chelsea in the Champions League, who he did score against at Stamford Bridge, and against Tottenham as well at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As here is Fosu-Mensah on the ball, back to Greenwood, into Pogba, touches, takes a couple of them, and then laid back out to Fosu-Mensah, finds a run of Greenwood. No, he can't. Mitchell with a good interception at left back, and cleared, and comes off Fosu-Mensah, and Palace can push out. I've been very impressed so far with the 21-year-old of Tyreek Mitchell at that left back role. With Van Aanholt injured, like he did get injured by Martial, not purposefully. In that 2-0 away win at the back end of last season for United, as they've got the ball here with Pogba, poor pass. McCarthy can pick it up, and it's forward to Townsend. Ayew battles with McTominay, he wins it. Back to Townsend, into Ayew again. He's through it in goal. Recovered by Luke Shaw, but can he get a shot away? He can do. Bounces in front of De Gea. An easy save for the Spaniard. But there's a dangerous run again from Crystal Palace. Picked up by Townsend, prodded towards Ayew. He outmuscled Scott McTominay, then Townsend took over. Threaded through the gap of Harry Maguire. Found Ayew. Luke Shaw did recover to get in front of his man. And then the shot was taken. It was poor in the end, and United are already finding their way through forward, with McTominay on the ball down that right, who did lose that ball for the Palace attack, into Fosu-Mensah. McTominay, Pogba, McTominay again. Fosu-Mensah, they need a bit more urgency and a little bit more of a run from United, from someone. And it's Pogba who switches it to Shaw. Lovely ball. Gets ahead of Townsend, gets a low driven cross in towards, and that was Rashford he was aiming for, but Sakho clears. as far as Maguire's header. Falls straight to Zaha. It's really poor from Maguire. And it's now Townsend with it. Passes it with the right boot. Strikes off Fernandes. Out for a Crystal Palace throw-in. Solskjaer not looking the happiest. Sat down on his seat. Taken over United in December of 2018. Won their first game 5-1 against Cardiff. Played 19 matches and won 14 in his caretaker role. And then given the permanent job in March of 2019. Townsend hits it offshore for another throw-in inside the United half this time for Crystal Palace. Was manager of the under-23s as well. Solskjaer in 2008-2010 played or managed 25 of those matches in the 2-year gap before going to Molde in Norway, as United have picked the ball up with Pogba in their own half and finds Martial, brings it down and finds Rashford on the left. Getting onto his right, looks for a switch towards Greenwood, deflects into the feet of Pogba. Takes a touch on the left foot, can strike it. It's an easy save for Gaeta. On the opposite side this time, towards the far post and not the near post. Easy save for Vincent Gaeta. No issue saving that. Easily down to his left. But at least Pogba's shooting. At least they're showing some attacking intent. It's Schlupp who picks the ball up for Crystal Palace. It's finds, I think that is Zaha down the left. Taken on Lindelof, cuts inside, strikes it, deflected. Goes all the way over to the right-hand side where Townsend battles with Shaw, loses his strength, or uses his strength to keep the ball. Townsend gets a right-footed crossing, it goes all the way across. Has to be hooked away further along by Pogba to Greenwood. And it's going to be blown up here as, I think it's Fosu Mensah has gone down here with I think a head injury maybe, I'm not too sure. I'll have to see what happened there. I think he may have got caught or something got caught in his eye. I'm not sure what's happened there. I'll have to see a replay. Whoever's liked as well just then, thank you very, very much. I mean, United dealt with it, so it's not like he's gone down to try and stop a Palace attack, as they have dropped the ball here, and with Lindelof, and another like, thank you as well. But yeah, just went down there. I think he may have got caught in the face by a Palace attacker as they've gone for it. I'm not too sure. There's another like. My word, thank you very much. Got some quick succession of likes there. There's Luke Shaw is on the ball down the left. Passes out of play looking for Fernandes. Maybe tried to spread the pitch too wide. But if you aren't subscribed, then there might be maybe one of you there who aren't subscribed. If it's you, make sure you are subscribing. Another like as well. What's going on? Don't get me wrong, I'm loving the likes that we're getting, but I'm not sure why we're getting them. I've all in once. I mean, I'll take it. That's fantastic. Shows that you're enjoying it, as Maguire's been soldier barged off the ball by Ayew very aggressively, and maybe been caught as well there. Harry Maguire gets the free kick in the end. Is Pogba now on the ball in the midfield, lets it run forward and looks for Martial, picked off by Sacco, and it's now MacArthur on the ball. Over to the left-hand side, where Palace have won the free kick. Pogba again giving one away. And there is another subscriber as well. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Every subscriber helps. I know that sounds very cliche and sounds like the Asda slogan, I think that is. Every little helps, but it does. As Sacco will take the free kick here on the left. Quite deep. This fly's doing me head in. Sorry. Dink down the left. To Schlupp. Keeps it under his spell nicely. Turns. And gets away from Greenwood and keeps running past Pogba. What a run from Schlupp. Pulls it back to Zaha. Lets it run across his body. Now it's Townsend. Strikes it over the bar. What a chance. And what a run from Jeffrey Schlupp. Another like 9. Wow. If we can get to 10, that would be fantastic. But Schlupp runs past Greenwood. Too easily past, I think, Pogba and Rashford as well. And laid it off to Zaha. Overran it a little bit. And then Townsend took over. Hit it. Deflected off the toe of Paul Pogba over the bar. And it will be it won't be a free kick. That's a complete lie. That will be a corner for Crystal Palace. Looking really dangerous. And it'll be an in-swinger. I'm presuming that's from, can't really see it from here. I think that's McCarthy. Swings it in. It's dangerous. Chiarte rises. Won by United. Falls to Fernandes. Bounces. Clears long looking for Greenwood. Dealt with by Joe Ward, but it falls straight to Greenwood. held by Joe Ward, stopping the attack. It's going to be a free kick on the halfway line for United. 11 likes. My word, what's going on? This is unbelievable. If these people who are liking and aren't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe as well. That does help massively grow the channel. But these likes are unbelievable. I'm very, very thankful for this. I think we've gone from 6 to 11 in about 5 minutes. Unbelievable. I'm glad you're enjoying the commentary today. As it is Lindelof on the ball, over to McTominay. Yeah, 11 likes, 0 dislikes, what we love to see. If you want to say anything in the chat as well, you can do so. Because I'm commentating focused on the game, I will still listen to all chats as well. As it's Maguire, switches, it's chested down by Schlupp and intercepted. Lovely interception by Schlupp, and he feeds Zaha in behind. He's one-on-one with McTominay on the left of the box. Can he strike it with the left foot? He keeps going, keeps running. He has to turn, nicely defended. Falls back to Schlupp. He's forced to the edge of the box, nicely done by McTominay. Jinks past Fernandes and gets a crossing. And it evades all Palace attackers and all the way over to Rashford on this left. Lays it off to Luke Shaw. And United get away with it. I can see a second coming their way here for Crystal Palace. We've hit 12 likes. This is ridiculous. What's going on? It is Fernandes who can bring it forward. Goes to Fosu-Mensah on the right. Back into Fernandes. Paul Pogba now, a little bit further forward. Tries to feed in Greenwood. Poor pass. Easily intercepted by McCarthy. And he needs to release if he can. He does go back to the keeper, who clears first time. He looks towards Zaha, who meets it with Maguire. Does fall down in the favouritism of Maguire, or more favourable for him to win that and keep it. And they can bring it forward now, United, with Bruno Fernandes. Played 50 games last season. Bruno Fernandes, for obviously that's a mixture of Sporting Lisbon games and Manchester United games. That's 4,306 minutes altogether. Not quite as much as Maguire, who played 4,962, but still a lot of minutes to be played in the season. And it's Martial on the edge of the box. Lays it off to Rashford. To complete the 1-2, goes down in the box way too easily. Goal kick for Crystal Palace. Maybe he was trying to buy the free kick there. Buy the penalty, sorry. Martial by going down. Did get checked off, but nowhere near a penalty. Made the most of that. The Frenchman, who's had 20 appearances for his country, with the one goal, and that was against Italy in a friendly back in the 1st of September 2016. That's how far away that was, that goal. One of his first games for his country as well. 57th minute, still 1-0. Despite the lack of goals, it's been a very enjoyable game to watch so far. Very nicely done here by Crystal Palace to keep it at 1-0 as Jeffrey Schlupp wins it from the goal kick against Pogba. And it's MacArthur on the ball. He's got an overlap of Mitchell and he uses him. Fosu-Mensah with the tackle, doesn't win the ball. Free kick given and a booking for the Dutchman. Picked up 1 yellow last year in his 3 games he played, and that's 1 already in his first game. Thank you for everyone who's here, who's liked, subscribed, everything. You've really helped out massively. And with the content that's coming out throughout the next month or 2 on this channel, it'll definitely be worth subscribing and sticking around to see what videos come out. Like I mean, football kit reviews, unboxings, showing off my kit collection, the Football Manager videos as well. Hopefully the new one comes out soon with all the commentaries, just everything's going on at once. So it is definitely worthwhile to subscribe to know what videos are going to be coming up. But it will be Townsend, who's at the minute the match winner, to swing it in with the left foot. It's low and it's easily dealt with by Fernandes. Needs to clear it to avoid the corner. He does so. Deflected though. Lindelof has to help it on only as far as Mitchell. Gets into Townsend. Nice touch to get away from the first United defender, but picked up by Fernandes. Now Pogba to Fosu-Mensah. Finds Lindelof and he can get it out wide left to Luke Shaw. He's got a lot of room to run into. Not real urgency here from United. He's had to slow down on the halfway line and just go across to Scott McTominay. I wonder where the first change, or the next change will be, for Manchester United. Will it be with Donnie Van Der Beek to come on? As it is Lindelof. Over towards Fosu-Mensah. Now on the booking, will they see that is maybe a chance to get Eze on and get a tricky player out wide on that left to cause Fosu-Mensah more issues than having to lunge in. Maguire brings it forward in the attacking area and gets it to Fosu-Mensah on this right hand side. He's got Greenwood on the overlap. He Dinks it in as well over to Greenwood instead, who heads it wide. It was Rashford who'd switched sides on with Greenwood, who made the overlap. That gave more time for Fosu Mensah to pick out the cross, and it was Greenwood who swapped with Rashford at that back post. He lost his marker with Joel Ward, and he should have headed that at least on target as a minimum. Maybe should have scored. I got the two mixed up there because he had switched sides for that one attack, and Greenwood, who was very prolific in front of goal at the end of last year, ended up getting 10 overall in the season. Headed it wide, massive chance. 11 watching, yeah, we're getting 11, 12, 13 people watching at once. It's fantastic when I get this amount of people. As James McArthur looks to sweep a ball out towards Townsend, De Gea has to meet it and clear. Keeps it in with Fernandes down the left, just inside the United half. Goes down the line towards Greenwood, met by Joel Ward. Good tackle. McArthur trying to find Ward again down that right. Passed out for a goal kick. Goal kick? Throw in, sorry. My mind sometimes just goes on its own. Lindelof finds Fosu Mensah. A bit of space down the right in the final third. Cuts in. Heavy touch. Tackle by McArthur and can be helped on by Schlupp over the top. Looking towards Zaha. De Gea has to meet it. More successful this time, but his pass is heavy. But no Crystal Palace player was running onto it, so Maguire could easily get it out to Greenwood. He's now on this left now. So I think they've just swapped sides permanently for now. Rashford and Greenwood as it's Fernandes into Shaw. Fernandes, McTominay. About 70, 80 yards from goal. McTominay gets it out wide quickly to Pogba. Needs to release it quicker. The Frenchman, he's still on it. And finds Rashford. The run of Fosu Mensah has been made. He pulls it back. Sakho deals with it nicely. Reads it well, but only as far as Rashford on the edge of the clearance. Now Greenwood has forced his way back over to the right alongside Rashford. He's found Pogba. Back into Fernandes. He gets a crossing looking for the run of Pogba. Headed away nicely by Sakho. Over towards that right and cleared by Ward. It bounces. Maguire deals with that bounce nicely. And United keep the ball. It's now Maguire over to Fosu Mensah. But yeah, thank you everyone who did do that massive spike, and the couple who subscribed as well. It does help massively. As a dink ball towards Greenwood on this right. Brought down, taken over by Martial. He pulls it back to the edge. No one's there for United. It's Townsend who can now release to to Wilfried Zaha. He's one-on-one with Maguire. He's got fancy chances for pace if he can knock it past him. Pogba comes over to help out Maguire. Slows down the attack, but Zaha finds a nice intricate ball through to Townsend on the right. Gets onto the byline, clips it towards the edge of the box. Where's Jeffrey Schlupp who can bring it down, shoots, blocks by McTominay and fouled in the box by Schlupp. And United can breathe with a free kick. Good commentary, very informative from Rob. South Africa, wow. I know we have a few global viewers, but South Africa, that's great to hear. I'm very glad that you're enjoying the commentary and find it informative. I show this quite a few times. I do notes. I'll show them in a second when I have a bit of time of what I do and what makes them so informative. As it's a 1-2 with Luke Shaw and Fernandes. Made Luke Shaw go forward and Pogba's had to pick it up and he gave the ball straight away to Jordan Ayew. Inside the United half, a big slide tackle from Fernandes. It's a great challenge, to be fair, to the attacking midfielder to win it back for United. And then Pogba gives it straight back away with a poor misplaced pass. And it's now Schlupp who can bring it forward. Tackle by Pogba, falls straight back to Palace. Now Townsend to Kiarte behind him. Now to Sakho. McArthur, Kiarte, back to the goalkeeper. Needs to get it cleared down the right, and he does so. Towards Townsend, it's Shaw who wins it, but straight to McCarthy. Looks for Jordan Ayew, can't find him. Here's McArthur. Now into Zaha. Knocks it past Maguire and taken down by Harry Maguire, and he will get booked. He really struggling there, Maguire, alongside Zaha. His pace is too much for him. But like I said, I do notes for these games, and not just like off the top of my head. So I do like a head-to-head here. There's loads of notes you can see, and then I do like a lineup sheet as well. See here, the 7 subs at the bottom, and I try and predict the lineups, and I have to change every now and then. So the facts do come from that. Obviously, some I do know from the top of my head, like just in general. But I mean, last season, how many games Luke Shaw played in all competitions? It was 33. Played 2,526 minutes. You know, kind of stuff like that. It just comes in handy every now and then. So I mean, yeah, it's not just me, I'm not this weirdo who just knows everything about football. It's not like that. Is that free kick for Palace? He's been dinked forward, headed away. Finds McCarthy, sorry. Into Sacco, back to McCarthy again. Finds Ayew now on the ball. Got it from Zaha. Townsend tries to find Ayew inside, picked off by McTominay. A big sliding challenge from McCarthy. Can't win the ball back, and United can keep it going with Fosu Mensah. Releases to Greenwood. He's 1-on-1 with Tyreek Mitchell. Going to try and get it on the left foot, and he does so. Blocked shot by McCarthy, but he falls straight to Fosu Mensah. Pogba. Closed down by Ayew. Needs to release it, and he does so to Maguire. Now Lindelof. Fernandes. Here's Fosu Mensah. Getting a lot of space down the right-hand side. Fosu Mensah for crosses. And he does get inside, so Martial takes it in his stride with a touch. He's a little too heavy. And Chiarte comes over to deal with it nicely. Just chips it out for a throw-in for Manchester United. They're still dealing with this well. Fernandes gets it from the throw-in taken quickly. Inside to Pogba. And they're going to look to get it on that left or keep it down the right. At the minute, it's down that right still with Fernandes. Fosu Mensah, they need more runs, United. They're really lacklustre. No movement at all. Martial into Fernandes. Behind him to his left to Lindelof. To Maguire. Looking for Luke Shaw. Poor ball. Too short. Townsend can get away with it. He's got runs of Ayew and Zaha. He's going to look for Ayew down the left. Can Lindelof get there? He does, but he falls straight back to Ayew. Zaha still making that run down the right. He gets it. Is he onside? I'm not sure if he is, but he should score this, and he does. Flag has gone up, but the goal may not stand. It is in. It's been slotted in by Zaha. Personally, from first view, it did look offside, but the rule is now that they've got to keep the flag down until it's reviewed. He has just wandered offside there, Zaha. Couldn't time his run. Nice finish on that right side of the box. Took his time on his right foot, about 8 yards out. Lifts it into the roof of the net. But he was unfortunately offside there. And here is Pogba coming off. Deservedly comes off as well. He's been shocking today with his passing. I'd love to know his passing accuracy. And here he is. Donnie Van Der Beek is on. 23 years of age. Made 175 first team appearances for Ajax, including 41 goals for them. So he's a goal scorer from midfield. Can he do a lot better than what Pogba was doing while he was on the pitch? Whoever did subscribe as well, thank you very much. Throw and taken quickly, Rashford. I know he's going to be honest, I can't see United scoring as of yet. But with this substitute of Donnie Van Der Beek, who looks like he's got a lot more energy, and here he is getting it from Shaw, laying it straight off to Rashford on this left, back into Shaw, looking a lot more energetic Van Der Beek than Pogba did. Playing a lot further forward as well, Van Der Beek. I think Fernandes is going to be the one who drops in alongside McTominay, playing a bit of a deeper role, and Van Der Beek more forward. As Fernandes gets it laid off by Fosu Mensah, crossed in, deflected out for a corner, couldn't be avoided by Mitchell. Van Der Beek just looks energetic straight away, wanting the ball, asking for it, making the moves. I mean, saying that, they just need to get a bit more movement going, United, and he's come on and he's giving that in abundance. And here's Fernandes to take the corner. Lifts it in towards McTominay, heads it onto the back post where Lindelof gets the shot away, and it's over the bar. 14 of you here with 13 likes. Unbelievable. Thank you for everyone who's here. Great flick on from McTominay. And then Lindelof did get his foot around the ball in the end. It was just a bit behind him. Was able to adjust his body to get the shot away and got decent contact, but that decent contact made it fly high over the bar. It's helping us fans out a lot to tune into games. Keep it up and your following should grow as football has huge following. Thank you. I hope it does. I mean, I had great following last season through the first year of commentaries I was doing, and I'm hoping it follows through to this year, and it is so far as Zaha threads through Townsend, dummies it, and leaves it to Ayew on his left foot. Oh, he's blocked a shot, and it's been able to be kept held off by De Gea. Don't think he was confident on the left foot there, so tried to poke it with his right, and then it was blocked off there, Ayew's shot, and then easily kept and held by De Gea, and they've got straight on the counter-attack with Rashford now down the left. Evades McArthur and goes for a long-range strike, drags it wide. A little bit silly there from Rashford to strike from that range. But yeah, I mean, I started this channel on, I think it was like 270 something, or they're looking for a handball for VAR from the Ayew shot. From that picture they show me now, that looks like handball. I've not seen. This is the first replay I'm going to see. But yeah, I mean, I think I had like 270 something, so I've gained like nearly 200 after one season, so that's fantastic. And when I've got like people 14 likes and about 15 views, it just really makes it worthwhile. And like you see the notes I showed you before, I do put effort in. It's not me just coming to sit down and talking about the game. But from that, the shot, the right foot, it does look like it deflected off the hand or the arm of Lindelof, because he did take a deflection. That's hit his hand. Are they going to let the referee go over to the monitor and have a look? I think they are. A mini round of applause here for the Premier League. They've not been stubborn. They've listened to us, and they're now going to use the monitor. Didn't use it at all last year, and they're using it. They're going to let Martin Atkinson have a look. The match referee, he's going to have a look at the decision and make it on his own, not someone miles away from the ground who we don't even know who they are a lot of the time. This is what we need to see more of. They're a bit unsure. They're going to go, look, you're the referee at the end of the day. You tell us what you think. That struck the hand of Lindelof. He meant it or not, I don't know, but that's hit his hand. So for me, that's a penalty. Will Art Atkinson think the same? Manchester United have been shocking. They have. They've been horrific today. No pace, no urgency, no runs, no nothing, no real big chances. And hi, Nicholas, as well. He's had a look. And it's a penalty kick for Crystal Palace. Great use of VAR. Lindelof, hand on the shoulders, knowing all along that was probably handball. Step over from Ayew, a strike, poor strike from Ayew. To be completely honest, kind of got his foot under it and scooped it onto the hand of Lindelof. Did he mean it? Obviously not, but it did hit his hand and did stop what could have maybe been a dangerous shot from Ayew. We will never know. And Lindelof concedes a penalty. United looking like they could be going back-to-back seasons with home defeats to Crystal Palace. Will be quicker for ref. I mean, I just like the fact they've used the ref. He's the match day ref. He needs to have more responsibility, not people in Stockley Park who have got loads of screens. Just let him have a look. He had a good look, and he's come to the verdicts of a penalty, because that is the law at the end of the day. It's Ayew to take this penalty. Scored 9 goals last year. Can he get his first one of the season at Old Trafford? Jordan Ayew to step up for Crystal Palace against De Gea. Very calm, and it's a great save from De Gea, and the penalty's been saved. A very calm run up by Ayew, maybe a little bit too calm. He didn't seem too confident taking that. Made it very obvious where he was taking that penalty. Down to De Gea's right, and it stays at 1-0. He ran up to it, stopped, and from his body shape, you could just see where he's placing that. No power at all. Yes, it was very towards the bottom corner. It's a great save from De Gea, because he was going towards that very bottom corner, but the power was not there, and it seemed very obvious to take. Or is it being retaken again? I think the penalty's been retaken. There must have been encroachment. The VAR's picked up on it and they've gone back on it. Was it De Gea off his line? Oh, De Gea, both feet off the line. And it's going to be retaken. You could spare his blushes with that one, because he might have a second opportunity to redeem himself. Lindelof very, very frustrated, because obviously if he's a United fan, you might not think it's a penalty in the first place, but De Gea should know the rules. I think as a goalkeeper myself, it's a ridiculous rule to expect to keep both, or at least one foot on the line, maybe not give them a leeway. The United staff are just shocked that they've had to have this retaken. It's Zaha who's now going to take it back at his old stomping ground. Only played 4 times for United. He moved on to better things with Palace. And can he score at Old Trafford? Wilfried Zaha goes the same way and lifts it into the top left corner. Palace double their lead. De Gea couldn't get there that time. Ayew will be very thankful for Wilfried Zaha to put that home. And could we be seeing a massive upset for United's first game of the season against Palace? They did switch up the penalty takers, which I do agree with. No encroachment from any Palace players coming into the box. Again, very casual, again from Zaha, but this time he got lift on it, which made it very hard for De Gea to get a hand onto it. And it's doubled the lead to 2-0. Sarcastic claps, I think, from De Gea towards Martin Atkinson, but to be honest, I don't think the referee's done much wrong. Didn't expect that. Well done. I said as much. Yep. Down. Lindelof has been poor. To be fair, he's been on the ball a lot. He's been starting a lot of the attacks alongside Maguire, but he's not been great defensively. And here comes Eze on that left against Schlupp. He'll be coming up against Fosu Mensah, who's on a booking, so that could be a dangerous one for Fosu Mensah. Oof. Tanaka Mudadi, I hope I'm saying that right. Great commentary, thank you for the comment there. Very much appreciate that compliment. And after that massive drama, we're back on it with Luke Shaw. Trying to find Van Der Beek down the left. Picked up by Palace. Can they maybe make it 3? Picked up ahead of Zaha by Maguire. And the attack's on. Rashford caught behind his feet. And they've given a free kick. He may have just been caught, maybe the back of his foot there. He did start to limp a little bit. And a free kick's been given. Hey, what a saga. I'm telling you, that was a lot of drama. From what I've seen, obviously I've not seen it back, and maybe when I look back tonight, I don't think that was done much wrong. With the new laws, if it hits the hand, it's a penalty. They weren't sure, so they let the referee have a look. They're like, what do you think? And he agreed. He went, yes. There was encroachment from De Gea from the penalty. So United can't really have much complaints as the free kick's been swung in by Fernandes, dealt with by Palace. A first time and then a second, cleared long by Mitchell. Down that left of Eze. Can he bring it down? He can, straight to Fosu Mensah though, and he can bring it forward. Met with Jordan Ayew's able to get it away from him. The man who missed that first penalty. And Fernandes threads it through to Martial down the left in the box. Met with MacArthur. Great tackle by him and then dealt with by Ward for the second chance. Thank you for everyone who's here. 15 people, 14 likes. I think we've gained about 3 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's been a great commentary. If you've got anything in the chat, put it in. I am keeping up to date with it. I do keep looking. And all the compliments I've been getting during the commentary has been fantastic. I'm glad you are enjoying it. And here is Fernandes. Great switch to Fosu Mensah on this right-hand side. He's got McTominay in support. Won't use him. Goes backwards to Lindelof instead, the man who did give away that penalty. Here's Maguire. They need 2 in around, what you will say, about 17, 18 minutes plus additional time, depending on how much they give. Martial, 1-2, Van Der Beek. Still Martial. No room for this to get a shot away. Rashford. Van Der Beek tries to lay it off to McTominay. Past his foot, and Eze can bring it forward. Tries to release, but picked off by Maguire. And United have the ball back with McTominay. Gets it to Greenwood down the right. He's gone missing a little bit for the last 10 minutes, Greenwood. But he's now back on the ball with Fernandes. Met by the back of Ayew, and he can bring it away. Fernandes loses it, and Ayew can run forward. He's got the run of Zaha, tries to find him. Maguire gets there first and brought down by Zaha. Poor pass by Ayew, trying to feed him into him. Score needs changing. Thank you very much for reminding me. It was so much was going on, I've just forgot. I do apologise. Thank you for reminding me. And United come forward. Fosu Mensah on the right. Trying to get past Mitchell. Can he defend the young left back against Fosu Mensah? And he does so. Pokes out for a throw for United. Great defending. Slows down the attack. McTominay. Fernandes deep in the Palace half. Tries to get a ball in. Cleared away. Back to Lindelof on the halfway line. But yeah, remember, at the same time next week, another commentary, West Brom versus Chelsea. Make sure you're here. 5:30 UK time anyway. Obviously, we've got some South Africans, or a South African at least in the chat. So whatever time this stream started, or this game started, it'll be the exact same next week. Alongside with videos Tuesday and Thursday. It's Fernandes over to Maguire on the left. That is my schedule from now. I've got it set Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Unless anything gets disturbed in the schedule. But that is the set schedule for now. Maguire tries to find Shaw. A horrific ball. Easily picked up by Townsend. And an outside of the foot pass looking around the corner. Great tackle from McTominay to stop that ball going into Zaha. And a poor short pass. Does find Shaw in the end. And he gets it ahead of Townsend and lays it out to Rashford. Down the line to Van Der Beek. Keeps it in. And finds Rashford again. In that corner flag. Turns. Tackled by Townsend. Out for a throw-in. Very good pass from Townsend. Outside the put, curling it. But a great recovery challenge from McTominay. Did stop that from going any further. It's going to be a striking change here. Batshuayi coming on, but we've come back to the game with Martial in the box. Try to cross it. Blocked off the first time and cleared out for a throw-in. Great defending there from the midfield of MacArthur and McCarthy. They've done absolutely fantastic there. No wonder they've kept out the club captain of Milivojevic at the starting 11. Big throw-in from Shaw finds Donnie Van Der Beek. Helps it on once more to Fosu-Mensah in the final third. Here's Greenwood. Back to Fosu-Mensah, about 40 yards out. Finds McTominay on the right. They need more runs here, United. Greenwood's been found. Gets onto his left on the edge of the box. Strikes it and shoots at once. Strikes it and blocked. To Lindelof. Works it to that right again. They just need to get crosses in. They have done so. And it's a great cross. It's caused danger. Full to Van Der Beek, who can slot it home. On the debut, he has scored. And the game is back in the balance. I was just about to say, as he put the cross in, they need to get more in just to cause a little bit of danger. It did do so. I think it just bounced off the foot of maybe Joel Ward. Fell to Donnie Van Der Beek. And a bit like his finish against Tottenham in that Champions League semi-final, on his right foot, slotting it to the far corner. Very much like that. And it's got United back in the game. It did just bounce off Joe Ward's foot. Try to deal with it. Very unfortunate. Went right across the box after bouncing off his foot. Straight to the Dutchman. And talk about an impact from a new signing. That's exactly what you want. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 2. No VAR, I don't think needed for that one, as Batshuayi still comes on for Crystal Palace, despite the goal being scored. And Odion Ighalo also on for Timothy Fosu-Mensah, who did just put that ball in. So interesting how they bought him off, because he was getting some good crosses in when they were allowing him to. We're 2 hours ahead here in South Africa. Thanks, Bud. We'll tune for future updates. Live, come on. Well done, Flying Dutchman. Yes, very good. And 2 hours. So it's currently 9 o'clock now for you. Wow. Currently 7 here in the UK as Crystal Palace have got it with Mitchell. Gets out to Eze down the left. You feel like a 2-goal cushion for Crystal Palace was safe, and they've lost that, so you feel like they might need to get it back. It's now Townsend. Gets it out to Ayew on the left. Runs being made by Mitchell. Apparently Ayew was offside. I thought he just made his way back onside, but apparently not, according to the linesman. But if you look back at the Tottenham Ajax goal in the Champions League, it's very similar to that, and I think very similar to the goal he also scored against Chelsea away, striking it across his body to the far corner. So maybe that's his technique of scoring, getting it across goal to the far corner. And here he is on the ball again, bringing it forward. Number 34. They got his number after Nuri, that Ajax player did, collapsing in a coma and they had to retire from football, and that's where he gets his number from, apparently a close friend of his. So a great gesture from Van Der Beek as Ward picks up that pass and can only see it out for a throw-in for United. Come on, Ighalo. Yeah, Ighalo on. As the throw-in's been taken, headed down by Martial into Rashford. Back into Martial on the left-hand side of the box. Tackled by MacArthur, falls straight to Shaw. Good 1-2 with Van Der Beek. Now Shaw into Rashford. Now finds Martial. Van Der Beek again. Back heel down the line towards Rashford in the corner flag. Finds the Dutchman. Poked into Shaw. Touches it. Finds Rashford. Deflected. Still stays on the pitch. And next Maguire. Drills it into Martial. Lays it off to Van Der Beek on the edge of the box. Good defending from Crystal Palace. And they can bring it away. Can't clear it too far as Lindelof picks it up. It's now Rashford. Finds Shaw. Again drilled into Ighalo. He's able to turn. Can he lay it off? Good tackle from Eze. And Palace can clear again. Very, very tense last 10 minutes of the game here. You had 18 watching at a point. Well done. Thank you very much. Great to see this amount of people watching. Just makes it so much more enjoyable when there's a lot of people interacting and in the chat and giving likes. It really makes it more enjoyable. As McTominay sends it down the line towards Greenwood. Back to McTominay. Not much room for United to work, and it's crossed and it's caused danger again. It's been sliced back towards Luke Shaw on the far post. People's a crossing, blocked off by Andros Townsend. Falls to Rashford, who has to play behind him to Maguire, and apparently he may have caught someone in the face there. Could they have something to say with that? Looked quite aggressive. That was on Wilfried Zaha. As that's going to happen, I'm just going to quickly run and turn my light on. I'll literally be back in a second. Sorry, it went a lot darker than usual now. But they've continued. I don't think VAR too much to say on that. It's Fernandez. into Greenwood. Picked off nicely by MacArthur. And they have found here Batshuayi, able to hold it up against Van Der Beek and release Eze down the left. Scored 14 last year in 46 championship appearances for QPR. When will his first Premier League goal come? We'll have to find out very shortly. Could it be today, as he has to lay it off behind him to Mitchell? Drills it inside, looking towards the striker of Zaha. And he strikes it in! What a goal from Zaha! Out of nothing! Against his former club. The ones who thought he wasn't good enough. He went to Crystal Palace. He was there from a youngster. Tried at United. Went back to where it all began for him at Palace. He's become the captain for this game. He's a fan favourite amongst the fans. Great work from Eze down the left. Into Mitchell. Found Zaha. Picked it up. Got their head of Lindelof. Shocking defending. I thought he was going to maybe try and find Batshuayi, but no. Took a few more touches. Maguire, again, way too slow to close down. And drills it into that near post into the bottom left corner. De Gea rooted to the spot. No chance of getting that one. And it is Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 3. And they only just picked up their first win at Old Trafford last season. And now they're going back to back. United 1, Crystal Palace 3. And what a second half we've had so far. Zaha with 2. As Martial tries to bring it forward for Manchester United. Goes to Fernandes, dinks it in towards Agallo. Tries to knock it down towards Greenwood, but Mitchell can deal with it. That is exactly what Crystal Palace needed. Rip Man United fan Zaha is so good. He's really good today. And get this as well. He's got 3 goals in 2 games this season. In all of last season, he only scored 4. What a start to the Premier League he's having. He's been put up front in a 4-4-2 with Ayew, and I think Hodgson's getting the best out of him. As it is Rashford. Down this right hand side, try to take on MacArthur. Still got it down the right. Too slow here, United. He's had to dink it all the way back towards Lindelof. Goes over to Maguire. Now finds Luke Shaw. The pressing all game from Palace has been top-notch. They've not stopped at all. Always getting 2 or 3 men around each United player, not giving them any chance to breathe. As Martial can't take on either Townsend or Joe Ward as they doubled up on him. What a performance from Crystal Palace. It'll be their 9th win against Manchester United in the 58th appearance, in the 58th meeting, between the two sides. Come on, Palace, stop messing about United and get Poch in. Where is Poch going to go? Could you see him at United? Not been at a club for almost a year now. As James McCarthy's had an unbelievable game. He's replaced by Milivojevic as Odi Nagalo in the box. Wins a corner. Unbelievable performance from the 2 centre mids of MacArthur and McCarthy. And so far, the club captain Milivojevic, he shouldn't be starting the next game. It should be them 2 because they've been unbelievable tonight. Swung in from the corner, headed away at the front post by Ward. He finds Eze, brings it down beautifully, and Sakho's making a run. Leaves it to Zaha, and then Sakho meets it with a big tackle. But it's met by Harry Maguire, and that's now Lindelof. They needed no movement or anything from Manchester United. Just no urgency or anything. It is Greenwood, looks for the switch to Fernandes, heads it over towards Agallo. Too much on it. The goalkeeper can see it out for a goal kick. Two minutes to go plus added on time, and could United lose the first game of the season? Must give credit to Roy, 100% oldest manager in the league. Yep, he's been unbelievable. He's had many jobs. He's not won much in England. He won 8 honours, 4 Swedish championships, 2 for Malmo, 2 for Halmstad when he was there, 2 Swedish cups again, both for Malmo, and then won a Danish championship in 2000 and 2001 season with Copenhagen, and then a Swedish Super Cup in 1989 and 1990. So in terms of England, he hasn't really been so successful, but away from England in countries like Denmark and Sweden, he's really excelled. And still at his latter stages of his managerial career, still getting able to get Crystal Palace working like this as Townsend lays it off behind to Milivojevic. Turns back on Agallo. able to get it past him and find Chiarte. Heavy touch. He's able to keep it though and find Batshuayi. Is he onside? I don't know, but he's turned and shot wildly over the bar on the weak foot. So even if it was offside and it went in, it would not have mattered anyway. But yeah, been here for 4 years now. 124th game, 43 wins, soon to be 44, I think. 28 draws and 52 losses. So for a Palace manager, I don't think that's too bad of a record. Because they've now been in the league for 8 years, Crystal Palace, consecutively. So they're now established and, Premier League team that I've never really down there in relegation anymore or even spoke about for relegation. Despite having a bad end to the season. And they've gave it away at United. Eze's away. He's got options to his left. Eze's going to keep going. On Maguire. Can't get past him. Good defending, to be fair, from the Englishman. On Eze. And Fernandes can bring it forward. Should have really released it there, Eze. But didn't do so in the end. And Rashford brings it away down the right for United. Lays it off to Greenwood. Inside to Van Der Beek, who got his debut goal. Seems to mean nothing now. But there is 6 minutes added on. Fernandes. Chops in switches to Martial. Cuts in onto his right. Strikes it, deflected. And falls back towards Martial. Who heads it down for Maguire, who just prods it into no man's land. And it's picked up by Zaha. Gets past Fernandes and brought down. And it's going to be a free kick for Palace. Just inside their own half. And it looks like they're marching forward to another win. 2 wins out of 2 to start the season. Because if you look at the first 2 games they had, Southampton at home, who had a great end to the season last year, with obviously Danny Ings up front, and compared it to Palace's end to the last year, didn't win in 8. You thought they probably had a tough game there, but no, they got through that with a 1-0 win. And then today, you definitely had United as favourites, and they've come through again. Scoring 3. Zaha scoring 2 of them. Saka with that free kick now towards that right of Batshuayi. Won the head of the United defender straight to De Gea. Still no urgency. 2 goals down with 4 minutes to go, and they're still pondering about with the ball. Awful, shocking performance from United tonight. As it is McTominay with the switch. Nicely done, to be fair, and does find Greenwood on the opposite side. Dinks it in towards Agallo. Tries to hold it up, but met by Chiarte. Townsend to Ward. First time clearance away. Is it going to be kept in by Maguire? Yes, it is. And he'll bring it forward to try and start another attack for United. Van Der Beek finds Fernandes. Turns quickly and finds Martial. Lays off Greenwood. Can't get past Milivojevic, but he can't get the ball away. And Fernandes keeps it. Deflects towards Van Der Beek. Now Martial. Van Der Beek very close. Encounters right outside the edge of the box. Fernandes. Poor ball. Deflected away by, I think that's Batshuayi. And a throw-in for Manchester United. What a performance. If you are going to go, make sure you subscribe and like before you do if you haven't already. If you did, I do thank you all very much. It just helps the channel grow. Like I said, videos out Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday on this channel. And make sure you check them all out. As the throw-in's been met by Sacco. And out for another throw-in for Manchester United. Martial, Van Der Beek into Shaw down that left-hand side. Coming inwards. And gets a great ball in with the outside of the foot. Bit of a curl on it. Very inviting, but no United player committed to it. And it'll be a goal kick for Crystal Palace. Vincent Gaita. Only got the 10 clean sheets last season, Gaita. But with performances like these first 2, I think he should be maybe better in that. Yes, he's not got one tonight. But he's been very calm in between the sticks. Obviously, that one mistake where he sliced the clearance in the middle of the Crystal Palace half. But other than that, he's been pretty sound in between the net for Crystal Palace. As he has the goal kick here. Clears down the left looking for Eze. McTominay's header is headed back towards Eze. And Lindelof has to come over and cover and clear out for a throw-in for Crystal Palace. Get Chrome and see Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday is the Football Manager Stockport County one. It's getting really interesting in that now. Hint, we do come up against Ronaldo in the next episode, so make sure you check that one out. And Thursday is going to be that unboxing of the mystery jersey, call that Mystique jerseys. Make sure you watch that. It'll be a very interesting video to watch. As Eze does have it from the throw-in, picked up by McTominay. Now Rashford gets past Mitchell and MacArthur. Great run from Rashford, and then taken down by Mitchell as he tries to recover. Free kick given, just 2 minutes to go. Is it a little bit too late now for United to make anything count? An unbelievable performance here as the free kick clearance is hit Batshuayi, and how Lindelof's managed that. But Roy Hodgson tactically tonight has got it spot on. His team, the way they've pressed, the way they've tackled, the way they've worked together, the way they've attacked, counter-attacked, everything has just been unbelievable from Palace tonight. And a lot's got to go to the players and a lot to the staff of Crystal Palace, and mainly Roy Hodgson as well. 2 wins in 2 looking like for Palace. Losing start for United as well, as eyebrows going to be raised if Dean Henderson deserves a start after this, as Greenwood will see this out for a corner as Luke Shaw's pass being deflected. Taken quickly to Luke Shaw on the edge of the box, lays it off to the right to Fernandes. Finds McTominay, he just needs to get a crossing if he can. He does so low in towards Martial, deflected off Sacco, out for another corner on the opposite side. Peace out, click the like button, cheers. Cheers. Why can't I remember? It's Rob, isn't it? I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, Rob. I thought it was. I just didn't want to get it wrong. But yeah, cheers, Rob, for coming in. We'll see you next Saturday when I'm live for West Brom v Chelsea. It's been crossed in, headed away by Batshuayi, and I think that's Zaha on the chase against Shaw. It is. Oh, Shaw, great defending on the halfway line, able to keep it and release to Fernandes down the right. He just needs to get a cross in here, the Portuguese. He does so towards Rashford, chests it down. A few shimmies and then has to work it back out to Fernandes. He needs to get the cross in. There's numbers in there. Dummies it. Left-footed cross in. Headed away by Kiarte over to Greenwood, who keeps it alive. Tries to go on the outside of Joel Ward. Does so. Gets a cross in. Headed away by MacArthur. My man of the match has got to be Wilfred Zaha. Scored 2 goals. But if I could give a team man of the match, I would. But I've got to pick one. And it's going to be Wilfred Zaha. Scored the retaken penalty. And scored that 3rd goal to put it all beyond doubt. As Rashford lays it to the edge of the box to Fernandes, who will strike from afar, blocked by Eze. Falls back to Maguire, who've played the allocated 6 minutes, and that's where he blows full time. Manchester United beaten at their first game of the season. A lack of energy, a lack of runs, a lack of determination has meant they have dropped points on the first game, and Palace are 2 in 2. Zaha, 3 goals in 2 games so far this season, 1 off his grand total of last season, and that was after playing the full 38 games. Van Der Beek, with a good debut appearance for him, with a goal. Didn't mean anything in the end, because it did give the team a lot of promise, getting it back to 2-1 with 10 minutes to go. But a great goal from Zaha, as he got away from Lindelof and just got the shot away before Maguire closed him down. Close off the game in general. And Roy Hodgson, at the age of 73, has still got it. Thank you for everyone who made the stream so good. With 15 likes, we had about 15 viewers average in that second half. 3 subscribers gained. I'm going to be here for Tuesday upload, like I said, Football Manager. A unboxing of a football shirt on Thursday, and then West Brom versus Chelsea on Saturday. Make sure you're there for those videos. And my word, what a game. The retaken penalty due to VAR, as there was encroachment from De Gea, as he didn't keep 1 foot on the line. Both feet were off the line. So that meant Ayew could get away with his miss, and Zaha could put it on the same side, but just lifted it into the roof of the goal. And then that was started, remember, by an Andros Townsend 7th minute goal, where Shaw was asleep at that back post, and Maguire as well. Andros Townsend got round the back with a right-footed shot across the goal to give them that head start they needed. And then from then, I said that the goal was deserved, that first goal, and it certainly was. Did I think they were going to be able to keep that intensity, that pressing, like they were in the first 10 minutes for the whole game? No, but they did. They completely surprised me. What a game from Crystal Palace. Could they maybe be in a chance of finishing maybe top half this year if they keep this going? We'll have to see. After obviously they had quite a decent season last year. They're going for that Europe places, then lost or didn't win in 8 in the last 8 games of the season. Then they fell quite down to the bottom. But with the signings of Eze, getting Zaha back on form, Ayew's looking good, and getting a defensive, I felt Kiarte, despite usually playing central midfield, I thought him at the back looked unbelievable. So, I mean, it's looking promising for Crystal Palace. We'll just have to see. United, they're going to be scratching their heads thinking, what can we do next to maybe get some intensity and runs going? Because that's all they needed, some runs, crosses, movement. None of it was there. So, like I said, they're going to be scratching their head. and wondering, what do we do next? Because their next game, obviously, they've got midweek Luton in the League Cup, but their next Premier League game is Brighton away. That's not going to be easy. Graham Potter, decent manager, did get beat against Chelsea, but they looked all right on the ball, Brighton, so that won't be easy at all. Are you streaming Chelsea Liverpool? No, I'm not. I can only do one a week because I'm in school and I've got to do the notes. And for doing the notes, it does take like a lot of time. So it's only one a week. That's why I'm doing the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule that I mentioned many times. So yeah, sorry, I'm not going to be streaming that, but it will be West Brom v Chelsea next week. Chris Martin says thank you for being here. Thank you everyone who's watched. It's been a fantastic stream. I've enjoyed it very, very much so. And I might reach home in time to watch that match. Hopefully you do, because it will be a very good game. There is another game on at 8 o'clock in half an hour's time. That is Arsenal v West Ham. So if you're able to watch that, do watch that. That'll be great. But other than me, that's going to be the end of the stream. Please like and subscribe before you leave. If you haven't, if you did, thank you very much. I hope to see you live next week for West Brom versus Chelsea.